Oh, once again, we're here to save the lives of people who need help with dating advice. We're the Love Gurus Podcast.
The Love Gurus podcast is starting now. The Love Gurus are comics that bring comedic wisdom to the savages asking bizarre relationship questions on the internet. Your hosts are Suzanne Leah Shepherd and Jake Vevera. I am the Love Gurus' pet robot Cassandra. I love you.
I think I can be heard right now by people. There we go. All right. We are live and in person. This is our second time that we've done this. And Suzanne, this is the first time you've been here for one of these.
I know. This is so exciting. We have triumphed a year in lockdown, and now we're back live. We're live streaming. We've got a cool background. I mean, things are really looking up.
It's almost as if the corona never happened, you know? It's like we undid corona.
It's almost as if we just lived in Nebraska this whole time. And
fucking A. That's the feel we like to have with this podcast. Like a nice afternoon in Nebraska, the most boring state in the union. Yes, we are the Love Gurus Podcast. I never pre-listened to the shitty music we have on.
No, this is inspirational. This is our comeback song. Miley Cyrus is actually going to drop an album about the Love Gurus Podcast comeback.
At one point, I weighed 550 pounds. I never thought a man was ever going to love me. I thought I was going to die before I was 35, and now I'm down to 375. I never thought this would happen.
Yeah, the next step is that your trailer gets done on an extreme home makeover. And I mean, life is just...
I thought they was going to have to cut a side out of my trailer to remove my dead body like they did my mama.
Yeah.
But no, we are live and in person, man. We have two amazing guests on the show. First up, she was on last week, but goddamn, we love her so much. We're having her again. Amy Liszka, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. I love when people don't show up for this podcast.
Yeah. It's talk about the dream of booking in person. Yes. I mean, amazing.
Yes,
yeah.
I've said this now during quarantine. Okay, so I'm the official fill-in. I hate when you don't introduce me that way. I feel like I've worked for it.
Yeah, I mean that's the credit you use when you submit to comedy festivals.
Yes, I do. Do you know who I am? I am the official fill-in of the Love Podcast.
It's weird to talk about a writer with that kind of credit. You know what I mean? Like I sent a writer to the club. Why didn't they? Where's my M&Ms?
I am so sad because during quarantine, it was funny when you didn't have to travel to get anywhere.
Everyone did the podcast.
And then I was like, you guys forgot about me. And I was like Amy who? Even though I'm like literally living here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
sad. So now, thank you.
Well, we're making up for it.
Thank you for whoever decided to cancel because you know what? One person's loss is another person's gold.
Totally.
I don't know what it was.
That's exactly how the saying goes. You said it perfectly.
Thank you.
One person's loss is another person's gold.
Trash becomes treasure. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I got my credits down.
This booking was one person's trash. It's Amy's treasure.
Thank
but
you.
Our second guest, he is a goddamn treasure. He is a returning guest, a hilarious stand-up comic. Bobby Sheehan, thank you for being back on the Love Gurus Podcast.
So good to be here. Yeah, I went to the wrong place, so but I'm here now. Does that make me technically the better guest? That
it would be easy to do in New York. I mean, there's so many people, so many comics with podcasts. You could probably just walk into someone's house, and it just happens to be another pair of comics doing a podcast. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, well, we've actually already got a guest. And you're weird. Like, oh, sorry, this actually wasn't the podcast I was booked on.
I actually just came very close to saying your address, Jake, which probably would have been bad. I just stopped myself from doing it.
Well, I gave my social security number last week.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty loaded then.
Yeah.
So,
well, his address is a social security number. So it's weird. It just makes it easy.
Yeah. I'm super dyslexic. I can't have two separate things.
My social security number has a 69 in it, which is dangerous to say in public, but also nice.
There you go.
That is,
nice.
Oh,
you know what? I forgot our cool little banner. Bam! Look at that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo. Look at that. That's what was missing.
We are a Better Off Media podcast. That is our official thing.
What was missing.
You know, that's our parent company.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And we're better off for it.
We're better off for it. Absolutely. You know what else we're better off for? The white wine. We are drinking Chimney Stack Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. That's our that's our unofficial sponsor of the week. It's really good, man. It's nice. It's crisp.
I mean, New Zealand, we've said this on the podcast before, but you can't go wrong with a New Zealand wine, really.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you went to New Zealand, you would find some crap ones, but the ones they export, I mean, Jacinda, I feel like she's at the port tasting them herself before they get on the ship. You know?
A lot of people said that drinking wine all day long would not amount to shit, but look at her. Now she's got her own vineyard.
Yeah, and she's kind of like running that country the best out of any other prime minister or president. So I think it's amazing.
This is how shitty I am with.
No, am I wrong?
World events. I thought you were talking about the lady that owns the vineyard.
Oh,
yeah, that's absolutely what I
have no
too.
idea who runs any country outside the U.S.
How do you know the prime minister of New Zealand?
That is pretty impressive.
Because she's fucking awesome. It's Jacinda, right?
I mean, she's okay. I know her name.
You could tell us any name right now.
Yeah, Jacinda Ardern. No,
Can you pull up a picture for us?
Yeah, because
Oh.
So
cool.
she's she's sort of, she's gotten notoriety, especially in the last year, because
Bobby
New Zealand basically snuffed out.
I didn't want to ask, is she hot? So I got around it by getting a picture.
But no, she has, again, gotten more notoriety in the last year because she basically, New Zealand snuffed out the coronavirus, and it was because of her amazing leadership. So
nice.
I just wanted to say, Jacinda, if you're watching, we'd love to have you as a guest anytime.
She may have written one of the questions for today.
Totally.
Yeah,
I'll let you guess which one. At
awesome.
The end.
Well, let's get to one of those right now. We're going to take our first question on the Love Gurus podcast. If you guys have any questions to write them into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or catch us every single Thursday live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. But for now, we are going to take our first question from the wild animals on a land called Reddit. That's where we found this one.
First question. I found out that my boyfriend is into necrophilia. We're both 19, and my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2.5 years now.
Necrophilia.
Necrophilia.
This is our first necrophilia question on the show.
Can anyone?
Necrophilia is sex with dead people, for anyone needing a quick definition up top.
I hope you had to explain it to her. Necrophilia, you mean you're a wizard who raises dead people? No. Yeah. Actually, much weirder than that. Weirder.
Honestly, I think if you went out into the public and told people that necrophilia was a Girl Scout cookie, a lot of them would give you money.
Is that the one with coconuts? Oh my God, that's my favorite.
Oh, I love a little coconut and chocolate necrophilia.
I didn't know that's how these were made.
I'm a first-year medical student just about to enter my second year. As part of the course, we were supposed to study gross anatomy soon. A few weeks ago,
this is damn sure gross. It got gross real quick.
I told my boyfriend that even though the pictures of the cadaver unsettled me, I wasn't sure how I would react to seeing a cadaver in person. This is when he got strangely excited and asked to see the pictures.
Oh.
At the time,
wait, no, excited, like interested in excited, or like she saw him around.
I think that you're gonna have to.
I mean, there's different.
There are two sides to every pancake. Can we please get a definition of excited?
I did not have relations with that dead body.
I've never had sex with a dead body, in case you, or unless you count my ex-wife.
Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Bobby killed his ex-wife, and he had one last go at her.
I mean, I'm just saying,
she's not using her body. It's done. I might as well get one more use out of it.
Yeah.
I think that there's a consent
I think there was a sad Buddy Holly song about that, right?
Yeah,
it's a B-side.
So he got excited to see the picture. At the time, I assumed that it was for curiosity's sake, and explained that I can't do that. He then got strangely upset with me. I apologized, and we moved on. Flash forward to yesterday. He seemed fidgety and nervous, and eventually confessed that he found out that he liked watching porn about necrophilia. He emphasized that he'd only watched the pretend version and had never once thought of seeking out the real thing. He repeated this very seriously.
What a good man.
I know. I mean, talk about someone that you want to be your godfather.
I only eat free-range chicken, and I only jerk off to fake necrophilia.
Yeah. He said that he felt so guilty about it and that he hated himself for it. He then sort of blamed it on me.
Yeah.
He said that I talked about cadavers too much, and that he grew interested in them himself. But I've never talked to him about it before, except the one time about the pictures. We agreed that we would just be taking a break from each other, but I also kind of feel bad for him. How should I proceed? Yeah, I mean, so basically, to give a quick recap, what happened is she's a medical student, so obviously she's learning off of these cadavers. She started talking about just pictures of cadavers. He pops a boner. And then
what type of underwear was she wearing?
And then confesses that
tell me what she was buried in.
Yeah, how cold was her? I don't know. So then
you just didn't want to finish that riff.
I don't know why my
secrets are going to come out tonight.
There's something about it in person. I feel more exposed.
Ew, this thing is still warm.
But yeah, so she so then she wouldn't show him the pictures. Then he confesses, hey, by the way, I am actually into necrophilia, but it's kind of your fault because you showed me those pictures. I mean, talk about because here's the thing is like, if you're into a kink, fine. Well, okay, I should say that. Okay.
Some kinks are dead.
Some kinks are bad. But I'm just saying that if you have a kink, don't blame it on someone else.
That was the only problem I had with the whole thing. Like, I felt bad for him. Like, oh, he's trying to get help before anything happens. And then when he was like, you did this, I'm like, okay, now. That's just called laziness.
But do you really think that he told her with the intention of getting help? Or was that a feeler thing? You know, it's kind of like if someone's into peeing someone, it's like, they say things like, let's take a shower togetger. Oh, whoops, I'm accidentally peeing on you to like gauge the reaction.
You're ruining
to see
someone's playbook
right
now.
I just read your diary, Bobby. I don't understand what the problem.
I mean, there's a lot of different kinks, right? You can get, I guess it's possible to get somebody into a kink. Like, oh, I didn't like to get, I don't know, spanked. And then you started spanking me. Now I'm into it. This isn't really a kink. It's more like a felony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're either into this or you're not.
Is it a felony? Is it?
I goddamn well better be.
Sex with
it's not a misdemeanor. It's not something you get a ticket for and show up to court.
No, honestly,
I swear to God, if there was some sort of fucking weird earmark that turned this into
what
a
if
fine,
like
I'm
the
gonna be very
deceased signed
upset.
a contract like it was okay? I don't know.
Maybe.
See, now that's a good question because I did once watch this TV episode where it was obviously fictional, but
Law and Order's really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
By the way, we shouldn't stay on this topic too long. I'm going to get excited and I'm going to get
yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, Bobby's gonna. Yeah, it starts to.
That's gonna be a question a year from now from Bobby. Dear Love Gurus podcast, you did this to me.
Dear Love Gurus podcast, I listened last year and there was a hilarious redhead, and you should definitely have him back. Anyway,
he was the best comedian on your show. I love his Twitter. But so yeah, I mean he's blaming her, and I definitely it has to be illegal because it is illegal to like misappropriate or abuse remains of a human. Now, the clause of, oh, well, grandpa put it in his will that he wanted to get his dick sucked after he died. That I don't know. I don't know what the, because if he's in hospice care and
I had to go to Thailand to have my will made. Only place a judge would sign off on
I'm not sure, but also I think that the answer would be it's still illegal because just because if you put in your will, I want you to shoot someone, that doesn't make it legal, Sure,
yeah. Well, and even if there was some sort of weird constitutional argument here, no one wants to be that lawyer. No lawyer wants to be known for being on TV.
Well, Alan Dershowitz would take it.
That's true. Yeah, very true.
But I mean, what if this was your partner and, so again, they're very young. They're both 19. They've been dating 2.5 years. So, arguably this is kind of like their first real relationship. And they find out this weird kink. Now, there's a part of me that thinks, well, listen, if he's just watching porn about it and that's it, and we're 60, and I'm kind of looking at the glass half empty already. Well, something I can deal with. But if your whole life is ahead of you, you're about to be a doctor, like she's about to be this like badass doctor. Like, why are you gonna carry around a dead weight? Know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I was thinking of the same thing too. I'm just like, I feel like 19-year-olds have no idea that like when you date someone at 19, 18, 20, like early 20s, I feel like everything's fair game just to break up, and you don't need an excuse. Like,
exactly.
Like, there's no excuse. Like, I don't care. You can just walk away and you just blame it on, well, I was 19.
Yeah.
Like, that's your excuse, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I just don't want this girl to be like, oh, what should I do?
That's
and then she end up being 60, being like, dude, my excuse was I was 19. Get the fuck out of there.
There's no, it's a
I can't leave this necrophiliac. I have a promise ring.
Yeah, I think your obligation to fare through complicated issues when you're 19 is none. I mean, you have no obligation.
How many times have someone been like, well, why did you break up? Well, we were young. Like, you don't hear that. Well, we were 53. You know, you don't hear that.
But also, if you're 53 and you just want to break up, just break up.
But 53-year-olds never use their age. They're just like, I wanted to break up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized I've had the wrong question across the bottom of the screen. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Yeah.
I need a necrophiliac.
Yeah.
It's as if the dead are sabotaging this podcast.
It's into necrophilia. That's how you spell necrophiliac? Okay.
Well, you know, here's
so you don't write it often. That's a good sign.
You should be proud of me. Yeah, I had to.
Do you?
I had to ask Suzanne how to spell this.
That's how it spells on the question.
Because I'm one of the good ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, what's your take, Bob? I mean, but also, you know, the specificity of necrophilia at such a young age. Like, that's what I also find.
It's a weird one to get into that young, right?
Yeah. Aren't you just happy to see some tits when you're that age?
Yeah, I mean, this is Gen Z, so they were like toddlers when they saw pornography for the first time.
Sure, Gen Z's going hard.
Yeah, they don't know. They've ran out of the buy Swordfish on DVD and wait till mom and dad are asleep and pause it to the scene where Halle Berry has her tits out.
Oh, right.
That is not this generation. They're done. Maybe all of guys that age want to like fuck dead bodies, and this guy. I mean, you want honesty in a relationship, right? He seems pretty damn honest. I mean, sure, he got a little defensive and said it was her fault. We've all gotten defensive.
Listen,
and say things
Mom,
we don't mean.
he's really into necrophilia, but I just trust him so much. I just know he's only going to cheat on me. He's only going to cheat on me with someone.
Has he done it? I feel like, hey, if you're into like dead porn, but like, have you done it?
But see, that's why I think that he said it to her in a way that was putting out the feelers, because she is a medical student. She is at some point going to have access to these cadavers. And the question's going to be like, hey, you know, it'd be like hot if we like broke into the medical school and like, you just let me break it.
Well, see, I take it. I would be so much more scared because I feel like he'd be like, you know, what's hot? Well, I could strangle you for a little bit, and then you could actually just die. And that would be like, oh my God, I would just go.
No, I mean, this is. I think if I were that person, I would think that this is a legit concern because, like what it's, you know, because like for example, like my boyfriend and I have a very small kitchen. It's very narrow, and I'm always scared. I'm always scared that we're gonna accidentally, when we're both in there cooking, that one person's going to turn around with a knife and it's just going to go right into my stomach. You know, like I'm always...
Like you're being annoying.
Yeah.
And you're dating someone who fucks alive people exclusively.
Yeah.
All of his porn's alive. All of his exes are alive, probably.
So just given the fact that accidental death, I'm just saying it's so easy. It would be so easy to do. If you were also... you're living in a small space and dating a necrophiliac, I wouldn't feel safe. Like I would lock the door when I showered.
No, this guy has to keep this under wraps because, you know, God forbid this woman passes away. Everyone's first thought is going to be that dude killed his girlfriend so he could fuck her dead body.
Yes.
There's no way no one thinks that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, you got to keep this under wraps.
Yeah, and maybe stop putting your shit out on Reddit.
And you gotta find something else. You gotta find something else that is healthy to get into. I mean, this whole proclaiming that you're a necrophiliac at 19. I mean, you may as well just commit a horrible felony and go to jail. You may as well.
Joel on YouTube says, does one of the good ones mean that Jake uses spell check? I didn't even use spell check. I asked Suzanne, hey, am I spelling this right? Like I think
it was spelled right.
Yeah, it could be wrong.
If it were me, I would have done pedophilia and then worked backwards.
You start with what you know. Sure.
Necrophilia is like like so strange that like we were right to define it beforehand, because some people everyone knows what pedophilia is, but necrophilia is such a niche thing that we had to define it.
Even Kevin Spacey's going, that man is into what?
Now I want to know, is this woman, is she like
available?
Yeah.
She should be.
Listen, I have a lot of thoughts, but I never want to fuck a dead body.
Oh yeah, dude, if she's on the fence about leaving a guy that's into necrophilia, she'll let you get away with anything, dude. Like, I mean,
you know what? So, honestly, you got to be selfless to be in a relationship, and I think that this woman is being a little selfish because she's 19.
Yeah,
she's probably not going to die for a very long time, and that's not what her boyfriend needs.
Her boyfriend doesn't need selfless.
Dating those 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds.
He doesn't need selfless. He needs lifeless. That's what he's into.
He needs to get himself into hospice care. Become like a hospice nurse. People, with 6 months or less to live, and consent written somewhere, please. Even if it's in lipstick, get her to consent. And
is it poor taste to say Anna Nicole Smith did it? She can do it too. Is that poor taste?
What?
Anna Nicole Smith did it. She can do it too.
Oh,
Is that really bad?
No, but that guy, again, the thing about Anna Nicole Smith and her old husband, he had the biggest fucking smile on his face when they got married. And it's like, so the whole fact that his kids are mad because she got money and stuff, that guy died happy. Okay?
Yes, he did.
There are no two ways to splice that.
Everyone
knew what was up with the situation. There was no one was trying to hide it. He died happy, and whatever.
Didn't she get a bunch of the money in the will, or did he rip her off?
Yeah.
What was the story there?
So what happened was he did leave her, or I can't remember if it was.
No.
I remember either the kids got fucked over or she got fucked over. I don't remember which.
I know that. Yeah. So I don't remember exactly what the will said, but they were married, and the kids were definitely trying to make it so she didn't get anything.
Sure.
So, but I think that she got something, because then when the daughter, when Anna Nicole Smith passed away, and the daughter, they were trying to figure out who the dad was. That's why it was such, because this daughter is basically a cash cow, because this daughter is inheriting everything that Anna Nicole Smith inherited. So
I just want to say I love Anna Nicole Smith. I was trying to put two jokes together. It didn't work too well. That's why I prefaced it with, is it bad to say? Okay.
What if the daughter ODs on opiates in like the second grade? You know what I mean? Then there's like, I am Sugar Baby the Third. I have rights to the claim. And it's just a weird back and forth.
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, really, but
that's the daughter's next to kin.
She's probably. I mean, the daughter's probably like 13 or something by now. I would imagine. Yeah.
So what? Okay. She has a kid at 13, then ODs on opiates immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Is whoever is in control of that baby, are they running off with that baby like a football in the fourth quarter of
if anyone doubted that Jake was from the South, by the way.
Oh, wait,
no, he's
Iowa.
from,
It's technically, I'm technically about 30 miles north of the Mason-Dixon. Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt. I would imagine that some of the money would be for the child, but I don't know. That's a very good legal question. If anyone would like to write into the Love Gurus podcast and tell us what would happen in that scenario, we'll take your comments. But I don't know. I mean, so my final take on this is: listen, you're 19. As Amy said, when you're 19, you can break up for any reason you want to. Really, when you're any age, you can break up for any reason you want to. This is not a common thing. It's not even really that legal. So when your boyfriend says, I'm into necrophilia, your next reply is, you need to seek help and we are done. So,
Joel on YouTube has an interesting take on this.
Oh, does he?
He says he admits he missed the beginning, but thinking back to when he was 19, he was also into necrophilia. No, that's not what he said. He's saying, when I was 19, dude isn't into necrophilia. He's 19 and inexperienced. He's not any good and used to lousy lays. Yes, up your game, madam. Show him what living pussy's all about. Show him there's something above ground to be into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Yeah, because so she's to blame for a lot of it, because not only did she show him the pictures of the dead or talk about the pictures of the dead people, so that's totally on her. She totally didn't make her pussy throb enough for him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's
This
like
is one of the
her
most
fault.
bizarre gaslighting situations I've ever done to anyone. But madam, you need to fuck your boyfriend better, and he wouldn't be into necrophilia. I agree with Joel.
Duh. Yeah.
Can I give advice to the guy?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
let's
am.
go,
I am.
dude.
Yes,
Here's,
I love this.
Advice to the necrophiliac. First necrophiliac advice we've given.
Maybe I'll start my own podcast just for this niche audience. But listen, dude, you gotta save your money. You gotta study really hard in school. You gotta start working out. You gotta do sit-ups every day. You gotta get a 6-pack. You like if you are a shorter gentleman, you got to do that crazy surgery where they break your knees so you're like 3 inches taller.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
dead people hate flab. That's true.
You need to be the most interesting person, well-read, traveled,
Funny.
It's hard to make dead people laugh.
Charismatic, good tipper.
You got a crush.
Yep.
and then only then can you reveal to your partners that you want to fuck dead bodies. This is the only way.
Well, you got $1 billion in the bank. You
Yeah.
can say anything.
Leonardo DiCaprio couldn't even say that he was into necrophilia like before Titanic. Like that's the level you gotta be at. That's the level you gotta be.
It's a very small percentage of people that have reached that level. Mackenzie Bezos only just was able to say it after she got divorced, ironically enough.
Yeah.
So Melania Trump is like, so I just need to act like I'm fucking you while I'm dead. That's so easy.
She is dead. She's totally dead.
She's like, I do this every time. It's fine.
She's dead.
That's so not Melania Trump, but you know what I mean.
I like your Melania Trump.
We all believed it was, and that's what's important.
you.
Oh,
Also, dude, stop watching so much porn. That's probably what the problem is. Just knock it off.
Yeah. Porn's available to people at a very young age.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Cut down to once
Too
a week.
easily.
I know someone personally, it's me, that has done that, and it's worked marvelously. You know,
because
get a
it's
hobby, start reading.
It's like
Watch Ken Burns' Civil War. It's very good.
Yeah, Joel on YouTube says advice to the guy: try warming the lube. Room temp is a bad idea. Yes.
yeah. But amazing, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question.
Absolutely. He's the love of your life. Stay with him. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, listen every single Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I almost said the old time, but that would have been wrong. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, or write us at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. For now, we're going to take yet another question from the maniacs on Yahoo and Reddit.
Reddit, yeah.
Yahoo Answers dead. I always forget that.
Next question. I took legal action against my mother, and my brother thinks I went too far. I think
civil rivalries.
I think you need a little background, and so that I don't get lost. But I'll try to be brief. My parents got divorced when my brother and I were 5 and 3. He's now 36, and I'm 34. We lived with my mother at first, since my dad thought it was the right thing to do, but it was a nightmare. She left us alone all the time, and if she was there, she would scream at us constantly that we destroyed her marriage. We went to go live with my dad, as we were obviously not being properly looked after. My dad got remarried, and we got along great with our new stepfamily and became happy, involved kids. Then when I was 10, my mother had another daughter with someone else that we never knew, and the guy wanted nothing to do with them. I basically had no relationship with my mother since then. A month ago, my dad had a health scare, so we went to check on him in the hospital. And while we were there in the waiting area, my mother appeared with our half-sister, demanding to see my dad and to know if he would make it. She said that if he doesn't make it, she needs to know how we are going to divide his assets.
This is confusing. This is like a whole season of Game of Thrones with no dragon. I have no idea what's going on right now.
I'm totally following. This is because I watch so much reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so easy. I get it.
I'll give a recap of that. I didn't slap her because my brother contained me. She kept saying,
"Oh yeah, this should have been a reality show."
She kept saying that my half sister was my father's daughter and that she will claim part of my dad's stuff. My dad got a vasectomy soon after he got divorced, and we were not even in the country when she could have gotten pregnant. I hired a lawyer and a researcher, and I pressed charges against her for harassment and making a complaint on my dad's name for the fraud of putting his name on the birth certificate. My brother thinks I went too far, and he says he's disappointed that I let my anger win and is very cold towards me. So basically, to give a quick recap, what happened was there's a brother and a sister. Their parents got divorced when they were 5 and 3.
Yeah.
The mother was a nightmare, didn't take care of them properly, would scream at the small children that they were the reason her marriage broke up.
Which
is
may
the
or may
right
not
thing to
be.
do.
Yeah.
We don't know all the story.
I-
Yeah,
but if
I
you-
mean, let's just like,
Listen,
let's just.
all 3-year-olds, their only goal is to push their parents towards divorce. We
I
know
know.
this.
So-
When you got divorced, I was watching those little round things with choo-choo train above my crib. What are you talking
So
about?
did the mom?
Toddlers famously hate monogamy.
Yeah, they're all about swinging.
His first words were, "You could do better." It was weird.
So they get divorced. They live with the mom. It's terrible. So then they go live with the dad, and everything's great. The dad gets remarried to a stepmom. Stepmom's great. Stepfamily's great. When she turns 10, her mother has another daughter, so a half sister.
Mhm.
She basically doesn't have a relationship with him. Now she's 34.
Mhm.
Her father has a health scare. When they're in the hospital waiting area, the mom pops up with the half sister
Mhm.
and says, "Is this dude gonna die? Because if so, this half sister is gonna get a portion of his assets."
Ooh,
Where's
but
my
he's
money,
not
bitch?
He's not even related to her.
Well, but the mother put his name like on the birth certificate, so that's why she is claiming
DNA
fraud.
test. DNA test.
DNA.
So that it obviously just hasn't gotten to that point yet. But so that's why she was saying that the father got a vasectomy after he divorced the mom. So and she was saying that there was no way
Yeah.
that he was even around when she would have gotten
And
pregnant.
the kid came out half Aborigine. I'm like, where did you even find an Aborigine dude in Cleveland? This is crazy.
Yeah. so
Also,
it's-
he's not dead yet. That's the
Yeah.
craziest part to
but
me.
so she's shown up saying,
It's
listen,
still my money. What do you stop fighting on top of me?
Yeah.
You're
To me,
killing
the argument starts after he's dead.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so he's not even dead yet. So
The doctor said I have a 20%
I feel
chance.
bad.
Why are you fighting each other with shame?
this is very much like a Leslie Nielsen
I honestly
movie.
feel bad for like that 10-year-old dragged into the hospital that has no idea what's going on. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up?
Well, the 10-year-old
We don't know if
is
she's behind
24.
it, though.
The 10-year, so she,
Oh,
yeah. So
I thought it was like
half-
a little kid dragged into the hospital.
The half sister was born when the writer of the question was 10.
Oh, okay.
So she's
I
only
thought it was
10
that
years
moment
old.
in Goodfellas with the two like 5-year-olds, like,
Yeah.
nah, this is who's that whore? Who's that whore? And the two 5-year-olds kids like, who's that whore? Who's that whore? I don't care.
Mommy said we don't like horse, especially in 6B. Horse are bad. Janice
Oh, okay.
is bad.
Yeah.
That actually makes me feel better that she's 24. Because I feel like at least at 24, you at least have a little bit of a voice to be like, I don't need that money.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
picturing
but
very,
after 24, you got student loan debt.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
unless the mom's telling a huge lie, being like, that's your dad, you know?
well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that the original father didn't want anything to do with her, and so this woman has raised this daughter as a single mother. It's
Mhm.
you know, she's drank the Kool-Aid arguably
Mhm.
for all of this time. So but the question is, okay, so the person writing the question, the woman writing the question, hired a lawyer and then filed harassment charges
Mhm.
against the mother,
Correct,
and the
correct.
brother was like, whoa, okay. Yes, she's crazy, but you've gone too far. So her question is, did I go too far? Should I have filed the harassment
Dude,
charges?
I'm angry on her behalf. You didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
You didn't
Well,
go far enough.
I mean, honestly, now it makes me feel mad at the dad that he's like trying to stand up for the mom.
No, it's the brother.
But the brother.
The brother is saying, so her dad's in the hospital. He's
So
just,
I thought it was the dad saying, okay,
No.
first of all,
it's the brother.
it's the dad's money. So, and also with that, I mean, all you have to do is get a lawyer DNA test,
right.
and then that is that.
Oh, this was a DNS test. Son of a bitch. I wonder why it was only $5 fucking.
I don't know. If I'm in hospice care, I don't want a doctor to come tell me to jack off. That is a
Sure.
joke. I know
They
there's
Your,
just
your
tell you-
father has a week to live. Will you jerk off in this?
No, you okay?
This
So,
is a Dixie
Bobby,
cup.
you're
What
so
are you-
silly. They just make you spit in a cup. I feel like he'd be like, "You want
They're
me
gonna
to
make him
jack off?"
come in his own mouth and then spit in a cup. That's disgusting. This man's dying.
That's not a proper last meal, is it?
All of a sudden, a 19-year-old boy who's surprisingly interested that he might be dead is all of a sudden touching his penis. Hello, sir. Are you dead?
How did I get into necrophilia? Well, my my aunts were walking on my father's grave while he was still alive, and somehow some weird Freudian shit happened.
So can I just make this disclaimer? From being a fan of the podcast, from going through Yahoo Answers and now graduating to Reddit, I feel like the people on Reddit have a lot more mature questions. I don't know. They're like there's layers to them.
I think the thing about Reddit is there's a lot more story.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a background, there's an arc. You know, there's a whole story there. Whereas on Yahoo Questions, again, 9 times out of 10, the answer was, that was a crime. You should call the police.
Well, and the thing is
which is why they probably had to shut it down. There was too many people, like too many crimes.
They were like, this is too much.
I imagine QAnon is related somehow too.
Yeah. It's like that, but it's instead of people committing hate crimes, like they're just basically saying, I'm walking into death. It's just a good idea. And it was like, hey, we can't have this site up.
But yeah, so back to the question. Do you think that it was too much to file a lawsuit against? So Jake, you were saying that you don't think it was enough. You think that there should be more charges filed against the mother for just being a terrible person.
Yeah, I think the mother is the devil. That said, I'm sort of on the brother's side, who's telling her that she did go too far because of what Bobby was saying earlier. It's like, wait, the guy's still alive? And it's like, well, I mean, should you maybe make his last moments and not have his family fighting? I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so there could be some of that, because again, we point this out every week, at least once. These questions are these people's pro-them propaganda. It's a source by, for, and about them. Yeah. So they'll leave out details when they skip over details, when they leave out convenient stuff. I have to think that it's in their favor. We've heard very little about the brother and what the brother's actual. He's like, well, you just went too far.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't do anything at all. I think she's pressing it in front of the dad, and it's upsetting the father.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, there's certainly something to be said of, you know, you can look at it two ways, right? You can look at it in the way that she filed the charges sort of like to protect her family and her step family and her father in this like very critical time, you know, where his health isn't great. She filed these charges so the mom doesn't rear her ugly head. The other side of that is, look, we've already got enough on our plate. You are going, you know, crazy town filing charges against her. All you're doing is just stirring up drama and inciting her.
I would have loved for the dad to just kind of come to for a moment and be like, yeah, we did actually have like a moment. I tried to hide it from you guys, but you know, we did, you know, sometimes that chemistry is just there.
We were on Molly. I let her get high and grind up against my vasectomy scar, and I think something might have happened. No. I'm not a doctor, but I think
we went down to the free clinic and reversed it for 24 hours.
There's a dentist who does cavities and reverse vasectomies. But I just think it's, I don't know. I mean, I understand from the aspect of she's trying to protect her family, but it is a little much just because this is so explainable. As we said, all she has to do is get a DNA test, prove the paternity of this half sister, and then there's no argument. You know, the mom has already, you know, she's divorced, she's out of the picture. The half sister isn't his. There's such a logical way to go about this, and
without spending like $100,000.
Because she's obviously crazy and she obviously loves the drama, and that obviously like gives her that
like mother like daughter
target. Yeah. Oh my God, why didn't we see this before?
You're just as crazy.
Yes. But yeah, there's just such a logical way to go about it, and just be like, well, let's just take a paternity test.
I don't know what logic is.
Yeah. Maybe that is.
If it's not the guy's daughter, yeah, she shouldn't get anything. As someone whose mom left young, and I was raised by a single father, and I've had like a long roster of ex-stepdads. Okay. If my father that raised me died, and my mom had gotten knocked up by one of my umpteen ex-stepdads, and that kid wanted some of my dad's money, I would murder that fucking kid like I was in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like, that kid would be done. So the fact that she's only trying to sue in court,
I just really want to know the brother's reasoning for saying she went too far.
You know what it is he's the one that's closer to the mom. Not necessarily that he likes her, but I noticed, and like, with dysfunctional parents, there's always like one sibling that's like, all right,
that like kind of apologizes for the bad behavior.
Yeah, he's like, he might be, enabler might be too strong of a word, but he's definitely like giving her more, giving
there's
the
a
mom.
psychological term for it. It's a pussy. He's a pussy.
He's pussy whipped by his mom.
but also
that's worse than necrophilia.
Yeah.
But he's also the younger brother, so he's probably not, so she's probably had a role more as a protector of it as a sibling.
Well, she probably saw more. If he didn't see as much, he might not be.
But she's older, so she's probably been more of a protector than he has. So she's like, I'm going to protect you guys. He's like, you're kind of going crazy.
It could be a temperamental thing. It could be just like, he's like, listen, like, we all know mom, she's crazy. Tomorrow she'll forget.
I feel like he's like, I took a psychology class and, they talk about things like this and just give her a break.
So not necessarily from the brother's perspective, but let's say that I was this woman's partner. Here's why I would be mad about it, because like, this does not sound cheap. She hired a researcher, she hired a lawyer. Like, we're talking about thousands of dollars. And that's what I would
that's what I would be like, you're taking this too far. You're draining my bank account.
I'd be like, I get it that she never said I loved you and hugged you, but let's not throw $10,000 into the wind just to prove your point.
And also, the only reason why I say it's fair game is because you told me that this girl is 24 now. I would still be very mortified, if this girl was like, unless she really genuinely thinks that this is my dad, because that's what my mom has been telling me this whole time. But it's like the fact that she was all gung-ho about having this money. I get it if she was younger, but it's like, she's 24 now. Like, and you want this money from someone who's never supported you. Like, I don't, that's where, unless there is like this big loophole where she thinks that this is her actual dad.
And dying guy, you got to get better taste in women. You apparently have all this money.
And you just keep picking the crazy
And I
ones.
know he threw away the receipt for the vasectomy. I know
that cheap bastard got on Groupon.
Show me the receipts.
I feel like he went to the office and he was like, I'm doing this. I'm not doing this. And he tells everyone that he got it.
This vasectomy was done in a van using the little piece from the game board operation. They had no idea what they were doing.
I could just see him sitting in his car like, I'm just going to tell him I did it. That's all.
That would be hilarious.
You know?
Just like, I'm just going to say that.
I know someone that got a vasectomy. All they told me about it was when the doctor says you'll feel a little pressure, they're lying.
As a guy who performs low price vasectomies on the side, you know what I mean, as a day job, when I was telling people your nuts are going to hurt like hell right now, fella, they would run right out of the back of my van, and so I got to tell them something. You know what I mean? You just give me a hit of oxy, you tell them I won't feel a thing. That's how it's done. I mean, that's why vans have those back doors like that, so people getting illegal vasectomies can just run right out if it's too much. Right? I thought that was the design of the car. Someone tried to sell me one of those old '60s Winnebago vans. I was like, "There's mirrors in this, you fucking rookie. Do you even perform back door vasectomies? No, you don't." Yeah. So what should our final advice be? My final advice for this woman is: listen, let's not get crazy. Let's just look at it from a financial perspective, unless you're loaded. You know, if you're just throwing this money into the wind because you're trying to, legally
teach her a lesson.
Yeah, teach her. She's never going to learn a lesson. She's never going to change her behavior. Just get the DNA test and be done with it, and just stop wasting some. What,
23andMe is like $100, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would think, you could easily.
And honestly, like, you don't even need that other well, I guess you do, but it's like, usually if you take like 23andMe or whatever, like, I guess they'll say this is 100%, 99.9%. Yeah. People don't just dole out assets without a proven paternity test if there's question, because you could say, okay, well, the daughter's like, oh, I'm not going to give up my DNA to get the test. Well, okay, then you don't get anything. Like, that's how that works. So is Maury still around? Joel on YouTube says, dude saved his vasectomy receipt as a JPEG in his GeoCities account. Yeah. GeoCities account. What is
Also-
GeoCity?
It was like this old ass like original, like it was almost like the MySpace of having like a blog. Like it was, I mean, so it's like when the internet was first a thing,
Yeah, I
people
have
would
a
make
loose knowledge of that.
people
yeah.
would have like a GeoCities account, and it was basically
What?
like the first version of a blog.
For
Nice.
some reason, I feel very
So
young
this
right
was
now,
like
which I
AOL
am not.
times.
Yeah.
This is like dial-up. Before you typed
Yeah.
in the
Well, I was
GeoCity, you were-
definitely around during dial-up.
Like
now
that.
I just feel like I had no idea
Wow.
that this was going on.
Yeah, no, it's
Also-
definitely during dial-up.
Joel on YouTube does have a question that we are going to read on here. But naughty shy girl Jessica says, I play with myself. I play with myself with my 2 fingers under my bed sheets every single day in secret. Hashtags my secret confession. Goddamn right,
Right.
naughty shy girl Jessica. It's
I
not a
don't-
secret anymore.
I
It's
also
not so
like,
shy
With that
after
name.
all.
Yes.
yeah. Also,
You're coming out of your shell,
if-
by golly.
Also, if you're gonna shock us, like try, you're gonna need.
We're just talking about fucking dead bodies.
You're
You
gonna
know,
need-
sometimes I
Necrophilia
finger
question
myself.
for this. Yeah. You
Listen,
should have heard
I
what the last guy does the secret.
Listen, yeah, naughty Jessica, I appreciate your bravery
Yeah.
for telling us that, but it's gonna take a bit more to get us
Yeah.
to clutch our pearls. Okay, but
Everybody
bravo.
gets little fingers.
Continue using continue using those little fingers. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe move up to the tongs that are in your kitchen. Just a tip,
Right.
woman to woman. Okay.
Naughty Jessica has nothing on filthy, abominable Jonathan. That guy from the last question. Holy shit. And he's only 19, you know?
But his
yeah.
mind is older.
He's got an old soul.
Yeah.
And a weird dick.
So what final advice do we have for this assault charge pressing woman?
Yeah, I just honestly, same thing with you. Just like don't spend too much money. Like this is a very easy.
Have a budget.
Yeah, budget it out. Know what your like pros and cons. Maybe do
$250
that.
for groceries, $5,000 to
Yeah,
press charges against
yeah.
my mom, and that's it. Not a penny more.
I know. I know.
I
Don't
feel
want to ruin Christmas.
I think a $25 gift card to Denny's to this mom would be fine.
I honestly,
I don't think she's doing well, and it's more of the principle anyway.
And I
so.
feel like that $25 would go a long way.
Okay, I
Yeah.
really think this is I think you need to like poke the dad a little bit, like wake him up, be like, dude, you need to wake up right now. This is like important. That's like what we need to talk about.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, this doesn't sound
well, they
legal at
didn't
all
say
because-
if he could talk or not. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if he could talk, it would clear up some shit, right? Because if my dad was dying and his ex-wife's daughter with some other dude was trying to take a quarter of his shit or whatever, I'd be like, hey, Dad, did you know that this crazy lady is walking on your fucking grave right now? Like talking to this microphone and tell the courts to tell her to fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think he could talk at all. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
if he can talk, if his mind is there. What if you put a microphone in front of him and he just starts talking about Korea?
he just
know?
goes, is this really your daughter? Rosebud. And then he fucking dies. Yeah, that could very well happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I perfect. I mean, I think that advice is spot on. I think we answered that question.
I think we did too. Let's take a quick YouTube question, but first a quick quick message from our somewhat sort of sponsors. People,
Yeah.
are you looking for a delicious Sauvignon Blanc? Then you can't do better than Chimney Stack Sauvignon Blanc. I'm telling you, the thing is delicious. I know it has a dude on the front of it whose literal job is to clean chimneys 200 years ago. But
you need your chimney sweep.
I cleaned chimneys so well that I moved to New Zealand, I did. And then I bought a vineyard. And I started making Sauvignon Blanc. And that fucking guy's dream was realized.
Dude, I bet that's the legit real story of that vineyard. That it was some English family who they were chimney sweeps, and then they got banished to New Zealand because they were criminals, and
Yeah.
now they're rich as fuck in New Zealand. What a Cinderella story that is.
I got arrested in England. Instead of cleaning the chimneys, I would go down them and steal the presents like Santa Claus, but the opposite. And now I use that stolen present money to what? Buy a Sauvignon Blanc vineyard in New Zealand. People, stolen British goods from the 1800s turned into Sauvignon Blanc 200 years later. Chimney Stack, get you some. All right, time to take another question from, this one's from YouTube. We are going off of YouTube right now. This is from Joel on YouTube. He says, question, a couple has been married for 15 years.
Okay.
And sorry, the screen's kind of far away. So
Okay,
that's the thing
sorry.
in my way too.
Listeners, I know that you can't see this, but okay, this what Jake is reading from is 15 feet away, no less, and the font is like 10, and Jake is fucking reading it. Like, he does not need glasses. He has amazing vision.
And there's a light
I'm
in
like,
between too,
so-
so I'm looking
hold on,
through the
listener.
lens.
Yeah.
This is what you don't see is I have tried to give Jake my computer to sit right on his lap, but he refuses to do it because he has a complex. I don't know what that complex is, but if you want to read it, it's right here.
All right,
Here you
well,
go.
know,
Take my olive branch.
this is how the sausage
Take
is made.
my
people.
olive branch and please read the question.
Because the lap was
Take
for
this
the keyboard. But anyway, all right, here we go. Oh, that is easier. Oh my God,
Thank you.
you're the greatest. That was a
Thank
great
you.
idea. Amy. All right, here we go. Joel on YouTube says, question: a couple has been married for 15 years.
Okay.
Work schedules, kids, etc., make in quotes marital relations less frequent.
I think he
I think
means
he's
sex.
talking. Dude, I think he's talking about fucking.
I think he is.
I think he's talking about fucking this guy.
He's talking about
Yeah.
relations.
You know what about
Cardinal
butt sex?
relations.
Butt sex, butt sex. Maybe
Yeah.
just masturbating underneath the cover secretly.
Always use 2 fingers.
Yeah. I think he's talking about using more than just two. Anyway, husband dictates Thursday nights. Oh, sorry. Husband, I can't read good. Husband
Can't
dedicates.
read well, Jake.
It's
Yeah,
well.
I think we should just go back to you reading the one that's 20 feet away.
Dude, I was crushing it 20. You see what your close-up is? You see what this convenient
It just
thing you
exposes
sent
that you
to
can't read no matter what.
We took the excuse away. That's
Now I feel bad. I feel like I exposed you.
I never learned to read.
I could have been a contender.
I was too stupid to box. I was too illiterate to box. Yeah. But no. So anyway, a couple has been married for 15 years. Work schedules, kids, etc. makes marital relations less frequent. Husband dedicates Thursday nights to his favorite podcast. ...
It's
yeah, dude.
All right.
You wouldn't say.
Wife makes it clear Thursday evening that she, quote, she wants some.
Okay.
Okay.
Should husband spend time with his wife or watch his favorite podcast
Oh,
and tell her that he's
shit.
tired?
What if his
Oh.
wife what if his wife is trolling him and she's the one that was talking about masturbating under the
Okay.
sheets? 'cause he's
I have a really good.
I think that's
okay.
Joel's wife. Joel, look at that.
Okay, so
Joel,
I
your
have
wife
a real
already
quick question.
commented. She's called Naughty Shy Girl Jessica.
Wait, I have a real quick question, Joel, because we don't want to lose you. I feel like sex at its best is like 15 minutes. You know, if you've been in a relationship for a
This
while.
is a really good point. Yeah.
Like, I mean, we go on for like an hour and a
Fucking A.
half.
yeah.
I feel like spend more of the day with her.
As her
and
fiance, I get mad if she's not
end
finishing
it off.
within 15.
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, if it's honestly,
I
if it's,
start beating her like a racehorse.
When is
God
this
damn it.
gonna be
if
over?
it's more than 15 minutes, I'm kind of like, I got shit to do.
Catch the rabbit. Catch the
That's what I'm
rabbit. Yeah.
saying, yo,
Like,
like it's like you're kind of like.
I mean,
done it
give it to her,
before.
but we got time for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Sting and his wife do tantrum because they hate talking to each other. That's what. Let's just fuck for 30 minutes straight.
I feel like I don't know. Is this an excuse that you want to leave us, Joel? I don't know.
So there's
yeah.
no reason why you can't keep this on in the background.
100%.
Exactly.
That would be my
Multitask.
advice. Joel, have sex during the podcast
We
and tell
would
us
love
about
that.
it. Yeah.
Right.
We would love
We will
that.
cheer you on. Tell us when you start. Tell us when you finish. Yes.
Come.
Yes.
Yeah, but I agree with what Amy's saying in that, listen, we as the love gurus, we would hate to know that we caused turmoil in a relationship because we're here to help. We all, that's obviously our goal.
Especially
Yeah.
Turmoil ain't what we do.
And
That's right.
so to know that we cause turmoil in a relationship, that doesn't sit well with us. But just maybe have the
We
relationship.
ain't about turmoil. We're about pleasant oil. You know what I'm saying?
And then
Like
watch us in
routine
bed as you
oil.
guys,
Yeah.
and then watch us in bed as you guys post coitus cuddle.
Fucking A.
You know,
Yeah.
but the thing is
This
too.
could be your pillow
The
talk.
thing is too is I just feel like
Cute.
anytime someone's saying, "Hey, do you want to get off with me?" Take them up on it.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean,
really?
depending on
a Walmart
like,
greeter.
if it's your wife. I'm sorry. If you don't. If it's sorry. I just really dug
Random
my
guy
hole
in the
right
subway
here.
with his wiener out.
I really just dug a hole right here. I meant if your wife, yeah. If they're, because sometimes that door's not always open.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long she goes. Maybe she can go an hour and a half because that's like how long we usually go.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen, we love our listeners.
Victor on YouTube says, try to stretch it to 15, Joel. See, you're getting encouragement.
Yes.
You're getting cheered on from the comment section. I love this. Joel says, how much do I love this show? I throw myself in front of the bus for Jake and Suzanne. Absolutely, you do. Absolutely. Yes, you do, sir. We love you. We love you.
Is this how a cult starts?
Could be a timing thing.
Is this how the beginning of a cult starts?
And the scary thing is that Jake's the leader.
Yeah.
Well, if you two split, there'll be a schism, and then there'll be blood in the streets.
Oh yeah, that always happens in cults.
Her cult's gonna have to fight my cult, and it's gonna be a whole thing. No. We're gonna keep things friendly. We're not gonna make you guys hack at each other with fucking axes like cults always do.
We're not leaders at heart.
No, we're not. And we're not going to do the whole, we need to have a compound and we need to have a bunch of rifles in case the feds come in and make us stop being gurus. We need to take them on.
The last thing we want is a bunch of dead bodies because although that would make one young man very happy.
I mean,
some of the people writing questions would love it. Most of them would hate it. And so we got to vote them out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So just playing devil's advocate, for some reason, if he cannot do like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of sex and then come just join us or have us in the background and she wants the whole night, then what do we do? Do we like sabotage her computer and make her a fan?
I think it's in that situation. Well, also the other thing is it kind of depends on when the last time you guys did it. Like if you guys did it at 3:00 today, okay, I don't know. Personally, like I'm not gonna have sex twice in a day. Like, what am I, 25? Are you kidding? But
dude, I'd like to think that Joel and his wife are on Molly 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And she's beating on his door. Hey, it's been 3 hours. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop watching live podcasts.
Listen, if you guys are Gomez and Morticia Adams and you do have 3 times a day and now it's the 3rd time, you do you, that's fine. But if it's been maybe a week or a couple weeks and some time has passed, like let's move that to the front of the line. Listen, the Love Gurus, we're on YouTube. We're gonna be here. We love our listeners and we love that you chime in. But again, if
are you asking us to change our time?
Wait. Joel on YouTube said, "I'll be back in a minute," and now he said, "Okay, I'm back."
Yes, Joel, that's how you get it done.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly, and thank
Everyone's
you to the missus.
Happy.
Yes.
You made 5 people happy all in once.
Like,
5 people with your wife.
Thank you, Mrs. Joel on YouTube for
compromising.
Mrs. Joel.
Thank you.
I love it. Cheers. As Love Gurus, you can see how our advice is helping couples in real time. Okay.
But if you got her pregnant, Joel, you have to name the kid Bobby. Or Roberta if it's a girl.
Yeah.
Bobby Sheehan. The full first name is Bobby Sheehan.
Yeah, my last name needs to be their middle name.
It's like Bobby Christina, Bobby Sheehan. Yeah.
I didn't get that reference.
Bobby Christina, Whitney Houston's daughter?
Oh, no.
I didn't get I got it. I feel like the girls got that one.
I know.
I know that too. I work for a music
I know. I feel so bad about her.
Yeah. Well, I brought down the mood, but you know what didn't bring down the mood?
I did Annalisa. I did Anna Nicole Smith, which brought it down. And then Anna Nicole was in here said as Bobby Christina. But amazing. Well, again, glad that Joel and his wife had a great minute.
Had a great minute. I mean, that's all you need.
Yes.
Listen, it's about efficiency the older you get. This whole let's have sex all night long. Like, I don't have enough skin for that.
No.
Joel, may the child you guys just conceived to our podcast be a masculine child. Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially if it's a girl.
Fucking A. I want her to be butch as fuck. I want her to be beating up other girls in prison.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, should we move on to our next question since we already helped a living soul?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Next
Amazing.
question on the podcast. People, write your questions into the loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or write them in the chats every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern live. We're going to take another one from Reddit.
Next question. My wife was arrested for shoplifting. She claims it was not intentional, but through tears, she said, I deserve this because I do it all the time.
That is such a white lady answer. Holy shit. That was it wasn't intentional. Like that was a white lady answer. 100%.
It was worth noting that we are financially comfortable, and what she tried to steal was minimal value. Of course, we retained a lawyer, and she'll likely get off without a record because she has no other priors. She's also white.
You want to put that in question, but yeah, we read between the lines. We got it.
That was in brackets.
She went to the courthouse wearing a lot of sunblock, even though it was February. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It makes me so angry that she'd take a risk like that, which would impact our family. We've got 2 young kids. We had spent the day biking and cooking out, and then when the kids went to bed, she had to go to the store. Reality was we didn't need anything. It was a random trip at 11 o'clock at night. To make things worse, the literal head of security for this chain store is our neighbor who we've only known for 5 months. So now I'm embarrassed every time I walk outside. She's acting like nothing happened. I'm not sure what to do or how to address it. How do you even discuss that it's obviously unacceptable? How do I trust her again with everything?
Oh my gosh. I feel like this question he's writing just for someone else to answer, being like, hey, how's it going? I hear you're having troubles with your wife. Aww.
Yeah. So,
I will say real quick, Joel on YouTube says, dude, if she gets pregnant, I'm suing the surgeon that tied her tubes, and the show will be sponsored by Coors. Yes. Yes.
We do need it sponsored. Like fuck this fake sponsor shit. If this happens, I want that sponsor, Joel. I want that sponsor.
Well, he doesn't own Coors. It would be hilarious if Joel was like, what's my day job? I own Coors.
You don't know that.
Did we just did one of the heirs of Anheuser-Busch just happen upon me?
I am Winthrop von Coors III. My grandfather invented this company.
I want to know more about Joel, okay?
Yeah. No, everyone does because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this question, so basically it's, I was just going to say, remember when we said that you can break up with someone for any reason before? You can, but this is stickier.
Mm-hmm.
It's, because they're married, which whatever.
If she's knocked up, I will own Coors. He also said, we live a comfortable life. Is that code for drives a Mercedes, but only stole a Ford? Yes.
She's peeling out in a Ford Focus. But yeah, so they have 2 small kids, and it just sounds like that, because I've heard things where people become kleptomaniacs because it's just the thrill of stealing something. Again, it's they never steal things that they need. It's things that they just steal because of the thrill. And so, I mean, this is like
so easy.
Yeah, this is like a deep psychological issue.
So she got caught this
right,
time, and now she's facing jail time.
No, so they
Winona
think that
Ryder did that same thing. You know what I mean?
She's like,
Winona Ryder. She was like a wealthy actress and stuff, but she just fucking got arrested.
I have no idea who she is.
Winona Ryder?
Oh, because he was like, she's a wealthy actress. Yeah. So I was like,
but no, I thought you meant you didn't know she got arrested for shoplifting. I didn't know it was one of those who is Winona Ryder?
Notorious for that. Yeah. But it's the same thing. She didn't need any of that stuff, but it's just the thrill of, again, it's like a deep psychological issue. This is not like a quick fix. And I don't know. I mean, it is a difficult question because how do you say, how do you have breakfast with someone while you're feeding the kids? Because all I would think about is that she's after dinner going to go out and steal something from Walmart. But I don't think I'd be able to get over it.
I could very easily get over this one.
Yeah, really? To me, it's very mild.
yeah, dude. Especially like
she doesn't
in my
kidnap
days,
children.
Now wait, is this like
I've been arrested and like sent away, especially when I was a minor and shit.
But is this a comment on capitalism in the sense that you don't feel bad like stealing from Walmart? Like, so as long as like she's stealing from like Walmart or Target,
stole from Walmart a lot. Let me just wait. So I worked at Walmart and I actually stole from that store so much, and it was funny because
is there a statute of limitations on that?
I don't know, but it was funny because
but then I was molested in the Walmart.
It was funny because
That's why I stole.
so like my
Why did I
last
steal? Because no one put a fucking wet floor sign down, and I slipped and fell. Do you want to have that conversation?
I
'Cause
slipped.
that's going to get
I
expensive.
slipped and that
for you.
knife
Well,
set fell in my pocket.
well, let me just say, working at the deli at Walmart, I definitely felt like they owed me. So I was stealing a lot.
Wait, you stole from work then? Everyone steals from work.
But it was a lot to where I felt like they were like I remember like as I would steal, I would hear like because you work there,
You're
you know.
conscious.
Well, no, yeah, my conscious. But you would hear like this, like we need the security team on this camera. Like you would hear that over the intercom, which you wouldn't know if you were a customer. But when you're working there, you know all the code. I'm like, oh, they're looking at me, and But I remember not showing up for my last day of work because I was like, they're going to catch me.
Oh, yeah. Wait until the last day.
And, I was over 18. At the time I was in college, I was like, I don't want to be.
You
like,
thought it was going to be like the end of Boiler Room, where they just fucking raid it with feds. I know you've been stealing fucking printer paper.
But
show us the pastrami in your pockets.
Let me see your hands on the ground now.
But
yeah,
it
what
wasn't,
if they
it
make you
wasn't
pay
me.
for the
It was like,
$23
okay, so
you owe them?
it wasn't even
Red team, this is blue team. We have the pastrami. You don't need to send the helicopters.
Let me
We have
just
the
say-
Would
pastrami.
you slice the cheese before you stole
Let me
it?
just
or
say,
not?
it wasn't even like.
This big old blood.
Let me just say, I didn't start stealing until I started seeing so many other Walmart employees stealing. And I
Right,
was
if other
like,
people are doing it, it's
oh
okay.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
so easy for them, and I would see them take so much home, and I was like, oh, I got this. And then I honestly do feel like they kind of caught on to me, but I definitely like. I didn't get fired. I left, and then I picked my paycheck up like a month later because I was like, oh, as soon as I pick up my paycheck, they're gonna like,
I think that that's a lot different. Yeah, I think that anyone who has ever worked in food service has many stories of taking.
Maybe
food
she
and
feels like the
beverage.
world owes her, like everyone owes her. Because I definitely had this feeling.
No,
like,
she said when she got arrested that she deserved it because
well,
she does
that's
it all the time.
honestly, there was this part of me that like
That's
I worked,
also another rich white lady thing to say.
well,
Here's what anyone who's not a rich, even a broke white lady is going to be like, oh, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that's a response. To
I mean, you guys, I got drunk the other night and I went back to my old work that I hadn't worked there for 2 years. And then I stole a bottle of wine because I felt like I deserved it. Like there's a part of me that like, when I work at a place for so long, I fucking deserve everything.
Did they not give you a paycheck?
They did.
I only worked for wine.
This is fair. Yeah, no, but what Amy
they would pay me in script like a miner from fucking 1910s, and I could only buy wine from the. I sold my store to the company store, and they had fucking Sauvignon Blanc, they had Pinot Grigio, they had a lot of shit.
I hadn't been working there for 2 years. I went back, I got a little drunk, and I grabbed a bottle of wine as I was leaving, and I was like, I deserve this.
Yeah,
like,
so,
you owe me.
You added alcohol into there, though. I feel like, but this woman said to her husband, I am going to the store with the express purpose to
You're
steal
talking about something very different because you're talking
I
about.
thought he told her that after she got arrested.
No. If I understand correctly, she said it was 11 o'clock at night and said, I have to go to the store.
Yeah.
And then
she has to go.
She just went to the
Dude,
store.
I'm kind of sorry that I called her a boring old fuck. I mean, like that's kind of ballsy.
In my defense, I would only steal at Walmart when I was when I was working.
Yeah, no,
like
that's what I was going to say. You're talking about two very different things, in my opinion. In my opinion, if you're stealing from your job, you're normally doing it because you feel undercompensated. You feel you feel devalued in some way.
Dude,
shape,
the
or
guy
form.
who owns this place and is paying for it has 7 yachts. I think he's good. He's good without these 2 cans of seltzer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's different than you are some bored housewife.
Well,
and
maybe
you go
she
down
feels
to the Piggly
devalued
Wiggly.
in her relationship.
This guy's got a dick down his life better. I hate to say
I think it's more of there's an old movie called Bandits.
Here's who doesn't shoplift: women who came 3 times that morning.
Exactly.
They don't do that at all.
I think it has more to do. It has more to do with her. Like she's just living this boring life, and her shoplifting is the only thrill that she gets.
Class.
Like she just kind of chose a boring path. And this is what she's doing to get out
miss,
of
you
it.
want to know how to get out of this? You say, would you rather this be a sex addiction? And then she gets out of it.
She's already out of it. It's the question is the question is from the husband saying, how does he deal with this? Like, so he's staying
with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. So going back to so Jake and Bobby, you guys said this is really not that big of a deal. Whereas for me,
100%.
I feel like it's a massive breach of trust.
Well, to me, I think she's ill.
Yeah.
But he, just because you're ill, if you have a physical problem, it's your what's the word I'm looking for? It's your responsibility to get that taken care of. Same thing if you have a mental problem. So if I'm this guy's wife, I'm like, hey, we got to find out how you don't do this again.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if she does this again, I'm like, hey, I'm taking the kids and I'm finding another.
So you're saying that there's like there's a program that gets it put in place.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which wherever it is, they lock down the stuff. But
Younger Jake would have just gotten drunk and we would have stole things together.
Exactly. Younger
Well,
Jake
that would've
wouldn't have
been
even
great.
seen the problem.
Finally, I've actually been meaning to tell you
Oh
something.
my god! This is I was pretending to work late so I could steal from the same
One of
store.
these kids isn't ours. I took another one from the hospital. I
This
steal
is
everything.
like that song "If You Like Pina Coladas," but for thievery. I
Yeah.
love you.
Well,
That's the way it would have
to
gone.
piggyback off of your Bobby, I think
Piggyback?
piggyback, yeah, piggy bank.
It's like, how are we getting rich off of this?
I know. I feel like the consequences for her actions aren't high enough. Maybe they are now. But what I'm gonna say, okay, I've been a stealer for a while. Not anymore, but
She's
it
recovered.
happens,
She's recovered.
Ma'am, if you're
but when I
watching,
was
There
this
is
is what
not
you could be.
a
I
current
got- I'm a white girl
investigation
stealer.
into Amy Liszka.
when I was in like first, second grade, I would steal from the store. And I remember, so when you're in second grade, you have to go to, because I was a Catholic girl, you have to go to confession in second grade.
Mhm.
And I remember having
You
huge.
either got to say 20 Hail Marys or
No,
fucking jerk
no, but
off
this
the
is
For
the
priest.
anyone
thing.
that's not
So
Catholic,
you
you
don't
go
understand.
into the room with a priest.
I had huge
And
panic
only God's
attacks.
supposed to know what happened.
Yeah,
in that.
exactly.
I had huge panic attacks in second grade, knowing that I would have to go to confession saying I stole.
Mm.
So that was my huge thing. And I remember
That's
going-
the whole point.
I remember going to the priest and he was like, tell me your sins. And I was like bawling, crying. And I said, I stole from like this store, like Hills, which was like a grocery store.
Yeah.
It was like I stole. And it was like literally like a sticker. It was so stupid. And I was crying and bawling. And you don't understand. I had so many like visions of me going to jail, like as a second grader. Jail. And then he says to me, you need to say 3 Hail Marys for my penance.
Yeah.
And I literally, as a second grader, laughed at him. Like I laughed. And then from that day forward, I was like, oh, all I got to do was say Hail Marys.
So if I'm understanding the story correctly, you did something wrong.
Uh-huh.
The priest kind of told you it was fine,
Yes.
and you still go to church.
Well, she has to do
I
3
know,
Hail
I know.
Marys. That's not nothing.
No, but
Do 3 Hail
he told me to say,
D10
but
on
I was-
YouTube
I
says
was-
blink twice if the priest hurts you. He also says he loves the new setup. Thank you, D10. Joel says, back in the days before barcodes, I changed the price tag on a Wilson football.
what?
First time I went out to play
That's
ball
actually a
with
good
friends,
idea.
I got hurt, felt guilty, and went back to the store to make it right. I'm a sucker for good karma. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
it's yeah. And so, Amy, I think he's more kind of in line with you. So you said you were bawling when you went to the priest.
I did. Well, yeah, no, but where I thought like my punishment was going to be and what I got, then I kind of was like, I was reinforced that stealing was okay.
Right.
That's what I was reinforced.
That
he
priest
said
100%. Yeah.
3 Hail Marys. If he said say
I
0
thought I
Hail
was-
Marys.
No, I thought I was going to go to jail. Like
Yeah.
I literally like as
3
a
Hail
So
second
the
Mary,
grader-
lesson
Abby.
you learned is as long as you don't go to jail, it's okay.
Yeah. Is that's the whole Yeah. Like that's
And that
the
is
whole
why-
point
So when
of
you
the
get a
law.
parking ticket, you're
What
like,
are you
fuck it, I'm not going to jail.
Yeah, that's the whole point of
I'm
the
not going to
law.
pay this. What are they going to do?
As
Not
long
put
as
me
you
in jail
don't go
again?
to jail, it's kind of not a big deal. Like, how is
Exactly.
that not? That's like
Exactly.
sound logic. Yeah.
Also, when I was at Walmart, since I worked at the deli, if I knew you, I would like make sure that your meat or whatever meat or cheeses
Yeah,
would
you
be
would.
like 2 cents.
I love that she put meat and cheeses in quotations.
Yeah.
Whatever they're saying is meat and cheeses.
You were laundering money and drugs at this place. I think is what we're going to
Too
learn.
bad it was
about
only meat and cheese. It really was. I was giving
Have
away
fun with your
rotisserie chickens.
pound of roast beef.
Yeah.
So the advice that Amy's giving this woman is she should steal more
to get a bit bigger. Well, I feel like her
100%.
consequence is here because now she might lose her family.
Right.
But she never had that highest stakes consequence.
By the way, dude, you kind of get everything you want for at least a month.
Who? Oh, him. The guy.
The guy.
Yeah.
No, not chicks. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I gotta do?
I agree, Bobby. I agree with your advice because again, to me, it's not necessarily what the crime was. Again, it's just this like massive breach of trust in the sense that like that is definitely not okay to do, or I don't know. It's just again like that dishonesty because if she's doing that and you had no idea, what else is she doing? Again, for me, it would be the trust thing. But I like your thing of saying, listen, if this ever happens again, then there are going to be consequences.
Yeah.
Like you get a redo, but that's it. This is a two life game.
To me, if it's more of a sign of like, here's a weird mental thing I got going on, right? But here's I'm so loyal to you that I'm actually telling you about it before I do it. That's the weirdest thing to me.
She didn't say it. She got caught. That's why it came out.
Wait, no, I thought you guys told me just a little bit ago.
She said, I'm going to the store.
Hey,
that's it. Period.
Oh, I thought you were telling
me
that she told him she was going to the store. Okay, so I heard her right the first time.
Yeah.
She got caught and then told him. Okay, yeah. So it's like at that point, it's like, yeah, she's bored, man. She's got weird shit going on. You either got to A, steal shit with her. B, right? B, be like, hey, I'm here for you. You know, we're gonna work through it. C, leave her and be like, I don't fuck thieves, madam. Good day. You know,
or D, leaves shit around the house for her to steal.
You know,
role play. Dress up like a Walmart greeter.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. Honestly, that would be so cute. Just put price tags and everything. Like this book is worth $1,000.
And then he pulls her in and goes, "Excuse me, ma'am. I see you've been stealing."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Bobby, that's amazing.
Yes,
oh my god,
and it just reads like a bad porn to where it's like, listen, I'm a security guard at this here Smithsonian Museum, and you tried to put the Mona Lisa in your pocket. How did you think that was going to work? The only way to get out of this is either a $10,000 fine, 50 years in jail, or sucking my dick. And then it's just fun marital times. That's good.
I think that's great. Or he could take her to one of those Amazon stores where you just put it in your pocket and walk out anyway. Like he takes it to one of those, but like doesn't tell him. He's like, okay, you know, she gets the sensation of stealing, but she doesn't actually steal anything.
Wait, Amazon has free stuff?
No, it's not free, but it's a grocery store like that where you just walk in basically, and that everything is like scanned and like they have like a system so that they know what you put in your cart. So when you walk out, it just automatically.
Jeff Bezos' wife left him and he lost his mind.
I was gonna say, well, now Bill Gates' wife left him, and it's like, what's going on with all the billionaires? You know.
Guys, I'm still like really sad about Bill.
I am too. You know, I know.
Jeff and Mackenzie, I was totally fine with because I was like, yeah, we get it, Jeff. Like you kind of need to be seen, whatever. But like Bill and Melinda, like it really kind of made me sad. They
were doing a lot of charity work and all that stuff,
and it just kind of seemed like they were a couple that they like appreciated each other for their like brains and personalities and da-da-da.
Well, I mean, I get that there was all this other stuff going on, but like I thought they would work through all that other stuff. It's fine.
I'm just still sad about
But
that.
either way, Suzanne, I think your idea is great. I would honestly just take her to any store, just let her think she's stealing, and then at the end, he's just the guy with the credit card, like, whatever she has. Here you go.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
just someone that they
and
they
then
have
she
cameras.
gets her thrill.
Yeah,
and it's
so
like
she thinks she gets the sensation.
I love that idea.
It's
Aw.
like the methadone of shoplifting.
What a great guy. Just enabling her.
Yeah, what a great guy.
That's our advice for you. Just enable your wife. Yes.
Just enable.
poor behavior.
She does sound hot. I feel like. You
I think
know?
she sounds really hot.
Come on.
Really?
Yes.
Come on.
Well, I mean, like
I think the only reason they caught her is because the security guy was just.
I think
her
she
around the
sounds
store.
like a plumpy hot.
I
Like a
think
plumpy hot.
she probably just looks like me, where she has a very generic face that doesn't stick out, and that's why she could shoplift to no end. So that because no one really kind of like looks at her and is like, oh yeah, I would remember your face.
I just walk around hiding in plain sight at all times. And
Yeah.
so I get away with
I
everything I
mean,
do.
straight up, like no one like like everyone's always like, oh yeah, Suzanne. I'm like, yeah, when we've met before, like all the time. My face is memorable and it's fine. Neither is my personality. But perfect. I think
I want to write into the show. My friend Suzanne has very low self-esteem.
I mean, that is why we're all comics, isn't it? But perfect. I think I think we answered that question. Are we ready to
Wait, are we gonna let her shoplift or not shoplift?
She shouldn't shoplift, but if he's willing to work it out with her and so that she could shoplift in a safe environment, then I think it's gonna be
Okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And dude, your wife sounds hot.
And do 3 Hail Marys.
Say 3 Hail Marys.
Make her say 3 Hail Marys and keep it. Yeah.
I think it was like Our Fathers. I think it was like 3 Our Fathers.
Oh, see, that's a longer prayer.
And it was.
Yeah.
And I remember
If you got 3 glory bees, that means nothing.
And
can
I
say
remember-
3 glory bees
I
right now.
remember
That priest
being
is
like-
a real Spanish Inquisition type of priest. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I remember doing
what about-
3
did you-
Our Fathers and getting confused of how many I did because it
Yeah,
was such a long
you have to
prayer.
keep track. You know, the one that's also active contrition. I can't remember, but no, Our Father was always the.
Yeah.
I think one time I had to do like 10 Our Fathers, and I was like, "Fuck."
Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Can I do my cousin? This is bullshit. Oh, but Joel on YouTube says things I don't love: necrophilia, legal action against mom, and missing my podcast because of sex. Oh, we love you, Joel! Yeah!
Yay!
Things I love: this show. It's the best thing on YouTube. Thank you, Jake and Suzanne.
Thank you.
Debatable led me here, and I'm thankful. I also love rescheduling sex for tomorrow night, so I didn't miss
It's Friday
for
night
the
sex.
Love
Yeah.
Gurus podcast.
Now that I know that
Love
you can
it.
have it tomorrow night, what the fuck, Joel?
Yeah, no, but this
You try to
you
you try
know.
to make us.
that kind of sounds really nice, though. Again, like it's it's Friday night,
I
like
feel like Friday night is the
Open.
bound chicken
It
wow
is.
wow
It
night.
is.
yeah, like a nice, like like a nice but cheap bottle of prosecco, something, and then just get the mood, and then start, and then you wake up on Saturday and you look at each other, and you're like, do you want to do something today? Yeah, let's do something today. You know why? Because
You
we
are taking
totally
my heart
boned.
away.
Because we totally boned last night.
night.
It's just good. It's just advice, So it starts the weekend off right. So well done, Joel, and we're very excited for you.
100%.
We'll all
Should we
be
give you the
thinking.
golf clap?
We'll all be thinking of you tomorrow.
Golf clap
I'm
for
thinking
Joel.
of him
Golf
right now.
clap.
Amazing.
D10 on YouTube says, "Man, I miss sex." Yeah, I mean it's a good time, buddy. It's
Yeah.
D10,
Yeah.
it will happen again. Don't
It
worry.
will
Especially
happen
after
again.
the pandemic, it will happen again.
I know you think
Totally.
you're a D2, but you're not. You're a D10.
Yes.
Yeah. But amazing. Should we do one last question, or are we
Yes.
plugging a wine, or what are we-
absolutely. And we are plugging a wine as well before the last question.
Nice.
People, do you want an amazing Sauvignon Blanc that actually tastes a lot different than the last Sauvignon Blanc? Very good. This almost is like spicy.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
fucking good.
It's very
Um,
dark yellow.
Yeah, it is. It's someone pissed in my Sauvignon. I'm like, no, they didn't. They put delicious stuff in it. It's great. It's Carolina Sauvignon Blanc. It sounds about right. It's
Yeah.
spicy. It's from the Carolinas. It's
Yeah.
got to have some ghost peppers in it. I like that. Carolina, the co-founder of Santa Carolina Winery, along with her husband, Louis Perea, is the inspiration for this wine. She reminds people to share and enjoy because no reason is too small to celebrate. Also, she bought this vineyard from shoplifting shit from Walgreens and selling it on the black bar. Oh my God. But the husband was cool with it. Huh? Guy from last question, you might have a good Sauvignon Blanc to sell at the end of this. Choose a moment and turn it into an unforgettable memory. like fucking during a podcast. Oh, wait, no, that was me. Make your moments unique. This is Leda Estate Sauvignon Blanc. It's sourced from vineyards situated near the Pacific Ocean and express a mineral character accented by noted of flowers and fruits like grapefruit and peach. Yeah, I think that's creating the spicy kind of flavor, is that grapefruit. You know when you bite into a grapefruit raw and you're like, it feels like my tongue has been maced with citrus, you know? You mix that with some alcohol and some other citruses and it's pretty goddamn
and some
good.
flowers, and then
Goddamn
it
right.
balances out. Just put some
Grapefruit.
flowers in there.
They
Blend
need
and
roses
balance it
and
out.
booze. Grapefruit, if you're listening, combine yourself with roses and booze. Anyway, Carolina Sauvignon Blanc, get you some.
Woohoo.
Next question on the Love Gurus
This
podcast.
is actually our last question.
Last question on the Love Gurus podcast from the wild animals on Reddit.
Last question. I'm 21 and my mother, who is 43, is dating a 19-year-old guy that used to fool around, that I used to fool around with,
Hell
and I
yeah.
don't know how to feel about
Do
it.
you
Hell
believe
yeah, I know how I
in
feel
love
about
after love after love?
Wait, so her son is fooling around with
So,
he's a bisexual guy.
no.
Huh?
So I think it's a female.
No, this is Cher's son. This is Cher's son.
Chaz. No, okay, so sorry, it's a female writing
Oh,
the
Cher's
question.
daughter. Sorry,
20
wasn't trying to be transphobic.
No,
on
he's,
it.
Chaz
Oh.
is a dude.
Chaz
Wait.
is a guy.
Yeah.
Fuck
No,
me.
I'm sorry. Like
Okay,
That makes
everyone,
sense.
we're off.
He can.
We're off the rails.
I know you said he was a son. I'm 20 and I think
Carolina
A 21
Sauvignon
a
Blanc.
21-year-old female is writing
Oh,
the
I
question.
thought it was a guy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I had no idea
Yeah.
what was going on there.
Okay.
It's kind of sexist.
A 21-year-old so basically a 21-year-old female, her mother, who's 43, is now quote unquote dating a 19-year-old guy that she herself used to fool
Yeah.
around with.
Yeah, mom, stop, mom. Like
First-
I feel like okay, yes, you can go after that 19-year-old, but if she has anything to do with your daughter, no.
What
Wait,
if
there's more to the question. Let's
Sorry,
read the
I'm
whole question.
we don't know
before
if
we
this
get-
19-year-old king is going to have the mother-daughter threesome that we've all
She's a
thought
witch.
about?
She's a witch. She's a witch. Put her on fire. She's a witch.
First off, I say dating because she says that they're dating, but they're just hooking up.
Hmm.
The guy is from our
Well,
neighborhood.
he's not old enough to go to a bar.
Yeah, where's he gonna do? Drive? we used to fool around when we were in school. My mom has told that she's seeing someone for the last month and that he was younger. I was happy for her and excited to meet him as I came here a few days ago for a small vacation. But instead of a 35-year-old guy that I was expecting, it was this 19-year-old guy. I don't know what she was thinking or what she sees in him, and honestly, it's creeping me out. Although I don't want her to be doing it with someone who I, too, had sex with. I feel like she's being
Joel on
irresponsible.
YouTube says, Christ, so far I've lived this question. Is that still true, Joel?
What?
Oh my God.
I love the idea that Joel was the 19-year-old lad.
Uh-huh.
You know, Just,
Yeah. It's a real
wow.
coming of age story for Joel.
Oh my God, totally. Okay, that I too had sex with. I feel like she's being irresponsible, especially at her age. At 43, the whole 43 is not that old.
Yeah,
Okay,
easy
yeah.
fuck. You're really.
Yeah.
Oh, I was almost on your
How about your
side.
20-year-old Joel? How about you fuck off, okay?
I'm more mad at this
Call
guy
him
than
43-year-old.
dude. I'm more mad at this guy than the guy who wanted to fuck dead bodies in the first question. I hate
I'm
this
just
man.
also mad at the mom for thinking that like a 19-year-old is interesting. Like
Yeah, well, she thinks one part of him is interesting. You know
no,
what
but
I'm
I mean
saying?
still,
they don't talk.
still.
I think
and,
she-
and the
she's-
abs. She likes slightly
I feel
above
like
that part too.
I
And
feel
the
like at a
abs.
certain point, like I mean, there's a certain age or time where I'm like, a 19-year-old is not going to
Yeah.
interest me at all.
Okay, but there is more. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, 19.
And
I would never.
don't fuck around with the same person who
Whoa,
your
wait.
daughter.
So that gets addressed. I talked with him, and he says that she doesn't know about us. And when I talked to them over dinner, they both gave me that we both love each other so much bullshit. I don't know how to feel,
This
and
guy
I
rules.
hate the idea of them being with each other. She is literally twice his age. This just doesn't feel right. Am I being a jerk, or will
No,
anyone
you
else
tell your
have
mom that
half
you
the
already
line?
fucked him and she's getting sloppy seconds right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah, I think
Don't stand so close to my mom.
I think that you brought up a good point. There's two things. It'd be one thing if the mother was just dating someone who was younger than you. That that happens, and it's upsetting, and et cetera, et cetera.
But it is what it is. I don't care about that.
Yeah, but the fact that you have hooked up with said stepfather, that's the part. That's the part that I would find hard to swallow. You're stood there at their wedding, and you know what his penis looks like.
Well, even
no, I'm not gonna call you dad.
I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I've called you daddy. Sure, but I didn't know how that was gonna.
This
end
woman's
up.
Oh my God, that's totally why he's fucking the mom, is because she called him daddy. And he's like, I like the sound of that.
He's super autistic, and he's like, I guess I'm her father. I guess she wants me to be her father. That's the only way. Okay, fine. I'll seduce your mother. That's the only way you can go.
I just wanted to be this very clear. Like, this would be the same exact feeling if like it was a guy reversal, same exact thing. So I'm not trying to be like what do you
mean if it was a guy reversal?
No, if it was a guy dating
like reverse cowgirl?
No, yes.
Exciting.
No, but I'm just saying,
First
like,
of all,
this is a
the
guy
male
situation.
reversal, if a man was saying my dad is fucking a 19-year-old girl they also fucked, he would be very excited about it. This is a different
guys would
dynamic.
high five about
He'd be
it.
like, hell yeah, my dad rules.
I don't think it's right. Like, I just
Dad, you can't fuck that 19-year-old. Wait, no, high five, Dad. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not trying to be like the prude of everything, but I feel like your kids are like, I feel like your kids should be your most valuable possession in the entire world. So you don't fuck with their friends, and you don't fuck with like someone who they've also fucked with. So it's like, I feel like, yeah, you go get that 19-year-old, but you get him like a gazillion miles away, and he should have no like relationship to your daughter whatsoever.
I wonder if he was referenced. Like if the daughter was like, I found this really great guy, and she's like, well, there's no reason why I can't find him too. I think.
Well, I mean, you're bringing up a good point in the sense of I want to know how they met. She doesn't say how they met, because what happens if he just came around the house one day? She wasn't there, but mom was.
I imagine.
That's probably what happened. I'm not lying. That's probably what happened.
It really shows you how crazy Hollywood has gotten. You know what I mean? Like away from itself, like how prude it used to be, but also crazy at the same time. This exact story was the plot for Mrs. Robinson, and that dude was the protagonist. He was like, I'm fucking the mom, and then I'm marrying the daughter. Wait, no, he did it the opposite though. He fucked the daughter and then married the mom.
But is that really what it was?
Yeah.
I never watched
Mrs.
it.
Robinson fucked the mother and then married the daughter.
I get it confused with Animal House for whatever reason.
I so wish if I had a time machine and $1 billion, I would have John Belushi play Dustin Hoffman's role.
I know.
In Mrs. Robinson.
I could only picture John Belushi and then the girl in the shopping cart. I'm like, but I know Dustin Hoffman was in that. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. So, I mean, as you guys probably know, for a long time, my dad was married to a woman who was much younger. But she wasn't, first of all,
You said younger with anger too. I felt like some anger on the end of that.
It wasn't, no, at the time it was honestly completely fine that he was like married to a younger woman.
Let me just be clear. I don't care about the age. I care about the relationship with the daughter.
Yeah, no, that's what my point I was getting to is that at the time it was completely fine. Like the age was never the issue in their relationship. But in this instance, it isn't the age. It's the fact that, it's the sloppy seconds. 40, there's a difference between like if someone is 60 and dating a 4-year-old, that's one thing. There is a difference of a 43-year-old dating a 19-year-old, but I can get over that pretty easily. But it's the fact that it is a sloppy second, as you said.
Yeah, and this is where you have to remember, like, when you're like, oh, it's true love. I'm like, there's 7 billion people in this goddamn world.
I do love
and you just have to like stay in the same state of Pennsylvania. Like, no.
It's very lazy.
Or even in the same like school zone of Pennsylvania. Like, at least go to the next school zone.
I have a mental disorder. I have to fuck within a 2-block radius. Maybe they fucked my kids. Maybe they haven't.
I don't know. There's something about when
like,
you bring in the word
went to school together.
there's something very creepy about when you bring in school zone now I'm like,
No, but you have to know.
we gotta get an
at least.
investigation
I'm not
going.
a pervert. I just have a school zone
You have
fetish.
to know
Why?
at least when you're like,
I love
okay,
USD.
okay, let me think. All right, you're from the same town, you're in the same area, you're from the same school. Do you know my daughter?
Well, no,
I feel like the odds are so high that she has to know that
But
she
the
already is
mom-
sloppy seconds.
but the mom doesn't know. So, and obviously the guy is like getting his dick sucked, so he's not going to be like, oh, by the way, Tina did the same thing to me.
no,
you know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
even
Like,
worried about
she's
him.
not-
I'm
It's
more-
always an awkward conversation.
How
especially
good
when
is
she's-
the mom?
Yeah.
How good is the mom?
Yeah, I bet the mom's hot. I bet the mom is
Yeah,
smoking
that the
hot.
guy's like, I'm gonna ruin this woman's relationship with her daughter because the head is so good.
No, I don't even
as
think she
an
needs to be that
atheist, I would
great.
be
I
worried
think he
about
needs
burning
to.
in hell forever if I did this. That's crazy.
I mean, there are a point where I'm like guys have issues also. They have I feel like he has issues right away.
Oh, do you think he like when he's
He's
gonna
cr-
go fuck the mom, he's like getting hard thinking about how sad it makes the daughter?
No, I
Yeah,
think,
hell
he
yeah,
has
she
mommy
hates
issues.
this.
or you think that
I think
he's
she has
looking
mommy
at it.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I feel like it's the same with girls and guys.
I honestly think it's like a townie situation. I think they're townies. I think that
They're in a red state.
yeah,
I
they're in
wanna
a red.
guess.
They're in a red state. It's a very small town.
What if they're
and-
like right next door to us, New York City?
They live in Astoria, but I think it's just a small town.
guys,
and,
it's my
and they're
question,
slim
sorry.
pickings, and so they were like, he obviously didn't go away to college, and so he's looking around, can't find anyone. Went over to go get some from Tina. She wasn't home. The mom was home. He's like, well, I mean, it's regular
I
sex.
totally believe that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's almost kind of like she's like, okay, now I'm
There's
almost
3
kind of like
women in my
flip-flopping.
town that ain't married. One of them came out of the other one.
well, this
And
is
what am I gonna
this
do?
is my part where I'm like, you wanna teach your daughter to be valued, and then it's like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna pay for this 19-year-old tab.
I don't think
like,
this is the kind of mom that teaches a lesson. At least not to.
I have some
women.
empathy for the mom because she fucked a bunch of out of shape, don't take care of themselves,
You don't
middle-aged
know that.
guys.
You
No,
don't
that's why she's
know that.
fucking a 19-year-old
No,
guy.
you know what's happening? She dated so many in shape hot guys that she's like, these 40-year-olds cannot
What's
fuck
that?
me. They
What's
cannot
that
touch
line?
me.
What's that line from the Matthew McConaughey line? Like, and they just stay. I keep getting older, and they just stay the same age.
It was
Yeah.
his greatest
All
role.
right.
36-year-old that
Yeah.
liked to fuck 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my favorite
It's
Matthew
illegal
McConaughey.
now. It doesn't age well. But,
Yeah,
you know.
no, none
Neither
of this
did those
in the
is
girls
70s?
probably.
In the
Okay.
70s, it was still illegal, but instead
me
of
give you
life in
this
prison, it was
reference.
$50 fine.
that
It was-
classic Miss Robbins does not age well. Okay, let's just make that very clear.
You know who
Like,
does age
Sure.
well? The mom, apparently.
Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, she probably got so much amazing bodies, so hot guys in the past that all of a sudden when the guys that were her age started getting older and out of shape, she was just like, I'm
You
going
know,
back to the
you're-
hot guys.
You're bringing up a good point because
like those guys,
Yeah.
like I'm so used to getting like ripped guys. You're not in my league anymore. So she's going back to like that.
yeah, no, you're bringing up a good point in the sense that I think that the daughter, is the daughter mad because she used to hook up with the guy, or is the daughter kind of pissed that her mom's like super happy in this relationship because she said she sat
Oh.
across from dinner with them and they're like, we're so in love with each other.
I definitely don't
is the
think
daughter just kind of a little jealous?
one, I don't think the daughter cares. Two, I do feel like the daughter is just dealing with should I tell them or not? And I feel like
Yeah.
she needs to because I feel like as a daughter, I need to be like, Mom,
I think-
you're
I
being
agree.
sloppy seconds.
It does need to come out. It needs to come out that she has slept with him before and then address the next step. If the mom is horrified and is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
For some strange reason,
you
if
know.
both of them are okay with it, then let it be.
They
But yeah,
gotta
but
do
if
a
the mom
threesome.
totally doubles down and she goes, well,
What-
listen, we've all had a past. He slept
What
with my
I-
daughter.
What I am banking on is that the 19-year-old little boy is like hoping that the mom finds out that he also slept with the daughter and that they break up and he's free for the rest of his life. And he just banged a MILF for a while. And he got like,
It's
I don't know,
crazy
some
how
sort of,
good you
like,
understand teenage
some,
boys.
well, no, some
I
sort
would
of
hate
like
if my
college.
dad fucked one of my exes, except for the really trashy ones.
No, I
You know
feel
what
like
mean?
he
Then
got-
I would high-five.
And out of it, he was just like, okay, well, at least I got my college degree out of this whole relationship. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. And he's going to hold out for that. But I feel like when all said and done, when everything knows about it, he is going to get out of that. Like, honestly, his worst nightmare is if she's like, yeah, I fucked him before. And the mom's like, oh, we're in love. That's okay that you fucked him. She's like, yeah, I still love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. I love you, daughter. And then all of a sudden,
then they both kiss.
No. And then what I'm saying.
Like, wait a minute. One of these women looks English. The other one's Puerto Rican. I think some producer. No. I think they just hired a couple porn stars.
What I'm saying is all of a sudden, then the 19-year-old kid is in this little pickle and he's like, well, I thought you were going to break up with me a long time ago. And now you want me to marry you?
Well, that guy's going to turn around and walk away because I know this about this man. He's a boss and he fucking does what he wants.
I can't even.
He goes to these two with dinner with both these people, and the daughter's looking at him and seething, and he goes, "I'm
mother
just
and daughter split checks.
We're just so in love." He says that to the daughter's face.
Yeah.
And that guy's fucking other. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the first mother-daughter's combination he's gotten.
But see, also, we don't know why, under what circumstances they stopped seeing each other. She could have done something really wrong to him, and this is just like the best revenge ever.
I didn't even think of that.
Wait, have they stopped talking?
What do you mean?
Did they stop talking?
So she doesn't give any details. She just said that they had hooked up in the past, her and the 19-year-old. But she doesn't give any details as to, how
but the
long
mom
it went on
the mom and the guy are still together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wouldn't it be amazing?
But what if
it didn't go? If the daughter and the guy were hooking up, and she was like, "You're just so bad at sex. You should just maybe find some older woman who doesn't need good sex anymore."
Yeah, and all of a
he's
sudden,
like, "Okay, I will."
All of a sudden, she comes home for Christmas, and they've bought matching sweaters for all three of them. Yeah, no, but again, I hope it's not the case, but it could be the case of the guy just being like, "Oh, wait, you did me wrong. I'm going to do your mom. Guess what? We're in love, bitches."
or this guy has a type. I'm wondering if they are of a minority ethnicity in a lily white town. Like, say they're Chinese.
Yes.
Dude, this guy's got yellow fever. That's what happened.
This sounds
He's like, I'm sorry, dude. I ran out of options. What do you want me to do?
I'll bet they're both albino. And he was like, I searched the fucking earth to make this fantasy happen. I don't care.
I don't think it's outside of.
And I need the bones for witchcraft.
What I just like.
I'm trying to raise my dead father to tell him take the fucking money from his ex's daughter. I'm trying to do that.
By the way, I like we still have the old question on the board. So anyone listening to the context sees, should I take legal action against my mother?
Oh shit! I have not changed the question.
Jake, you're so bad at this.
Dude, I'm very bad at this. Hang on.
So anyone just tuning in thinks we read that question, the woman's like, "Can I take my mom to court?"
They're not even talking about legal action. They're just talking about, like, should I tell my mom if I fucked him before?
They have been so confused. I'm so bad at switching those.
No, but that's
you need to learn
hilarious.
that. Okay, but I do feel like, I'm not mad at the mom because she doesn't know yet. Mm-hmm. I am kind of mad that she's a little lazy. Like, I feel like the same schools, like, I feel like, honestly, if I knew that I was sleeping with someone in the same area, same state, same school zone, same age, I'd have a lot of questions to be like, do you fucking know my daughter?
She knows. She knows, and she's trying not to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. Because I think that the mom isn't stupid, but she just kind of has purposely
like,
not
oh my
thought
gosh,
about
I
it
haven't had such
because she wants this 19-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
He kept saying things when we were sleeping together, like, "Oh, the older version's so much better," and I didn't know what he meant by that. He was like, "Oh, I thought
he was just referring to older women in general."
I think she's been such a shitty daughter that her mother absolutely fucking hates her, like to a Shakespearean level, and she's like, "I will fuck with your boyfriend." You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's that's what's going on.
But the other thing about this question is that she's the daughter's 21 and the mom is 43. So that means that the mom had her when she was 22, which is pretty. So it's pretty young.
Normal, though.
It's young for now, but normal for back in the day.
Really?
Normal for my parents and stuff.
Yes, and especially like even now, like
Well,
anything that's not in New York City.
See, I was
The
just gonna
town
say,
that they
I
live
think
in has one supermarket.
Yeah.
You have
So what I was going to say is that it's
this
young.
is a quote unquote from my hometown. I'm 23. I need to get married and grow up now. I'm 23. I need to grow up and get married now. It's like
wherever they're from, 23 having a kid, that's like a geriatric pregnancy.
Well, so what I was going to
I'm 37. I'm neither grown up and almost married. You know what I mean? So it's like you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it almost seems like, the mom, she had a child fairly young and therefore didn't get, these, this crazy decade of her 20s that a lot of people have. And so now she's now that the daughter's grown, she's like going back and she's like, I'm going to live my 20s up,
I will say though, because now my mom, she was in the generation where you just get married when you're younger, and she actually did wait. But I do feel like there are some times where my mom treats me like I'm her girlfriend. Like, do you know what your dad did last night? And I'm like,
nice.
Stop it. No.
Yeah.
I know you can't handle this, but he's just, she will just say the greatest things about him. I'm like, Mom, stop it. Like,
That's
but
cute.
I feel it is cute, but I feel like then there is like another level where if you don't get that, this is why you never want to get married in your 20s, everyone. Like, I don't know.
Or have a relationship with your mother.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I'm so mad at the mom. I shouldn't be because I'm kind of like, you go girl for getting a 19-year-old. That's great. But I feel like you needed to do the research.
But she did. Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Research.
But yeah. So my
I get you that you're happy because you're like, oh, I'm that guy that she's fucking.
The guy's weird. And the mom is weird because it's cool.
And the daughter.
The
The fact that she has to feel that she has to hold back from saying anything.
The guy needs to start playing cards. Do you know what kind of poker face you have to have? You know what I mean? Every single time you fuck, every conversation to not show like any kind. You don't even flinch and do like.
And especially as a 19-year-old being like, I fucked your mom. Like, I feel like he just wants to say it so bad.
See,
Dude,
I
this
don't.
Guy, he's he's like a sociopath.
I think
He's
the
whatever.
guy wants to keep it up.
Let's be the most charitable we can to the guy. What fucking predicament he's in if he legitimately loves the mom? Like he's in love with this woman.
No, that was a whole fucking
But he might.
Mrs. Robinson, but the other way around.
He might be. I'm just saying that the guy knows. The mom doesn't know. I mean, the mom, again, what I think in this situation, and my final advice is, look, you need to tell your mom the truth. Then you can come to a decision. Because the guy obviously knows. The girl obviously knows. The guy is happy to go along with it. The guy genuinely might be in love. You never, what I mean? You never know.
The daughter has to give the guy an ultimatum and say, hey, I'm going to tell her unless you do.
It's either all of us or none of us.
Yeah. And then the daughter's just got to be more open-minded. Like maybe,
because at some point she's grown, her mom's grown. You gotta, even if it doesn't make you happy, it's kind of none of your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And my final advice is like, I'm sorry, your daughter is your prized possession or possession.
Oh, the 19-year-old guy, and she have a prize.
She didn't know her positions. That's how she lost you to your position. Okay.
Oh my God! You and your daughter play Twister as well. That's weird.
No, but in that saying, like, I feel like it's on her no matter what, even if she doesn't know, because I was like, you need to do your research. You need to be that spy. You need to watch your kid. And obviously you let the ball slip out of your hands and you have no idea that she's on heroin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's
there you go. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's mean and harsh and horrible, but you need to know and you need to snoop. I'm sorry.
And the daughter needs to find the guy's dad and have sex with him.
That was going to be yes. A wedding reception's going to happen. People are going to be walking people down the aisle. There's going to be dances back and forth. You know what I mean? You get a little handsy.
It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Yes. Am I right? Up top. Oh,
yeah. Shooting fish in a Cracker Barrel. I'm thinking this happens in a rural state. So that's what I'm saying. It's not a Mexican standoff. It is more like a whatever the fuckville Alabama standoff. And that's what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You fuck his dad. until he stops fucking your mom.
Or you both like, I don't know. I don't think swingers just have to be for couples. They could be with father, daughters, sons.
Sure,
multi-generational.
Yeah.
If only Hatfield,
Keep it in the family.
dude. If only Hatfield and McCoy's fucked together instead of shot each other. You know what I'm saying? This
Make
is like
love,
a
not
hippie
war.
version of that.
That's where it comes from.
Absolutely.
Does Joel have final advice?
I personally just want to say that I'm not advocating for incest. I just in case that's unclear.
Oh, stop
No,
being
no,
so
no.
fucking and you don't like shoplifting either. Oh, I don't like fucking family members or shoplifting.
All four of them shouldn't have sex at once. I'm not saying that, but the kind of swapping every once in a while, I think that's okay. Because look, what might happen is that the dad and the mom, I mean, they're talking about Reagan or whatever, and they actually really like each other. And then
politics is what brings us together.
And then the younger they get together, they're like, hey, let's do TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And then it just all works out.
See, now that story's cute.
I think it was very cute.
What does Joel say? I'm really curious.
Yes. So let me catch up on some YouTube comments. It's okay. Joel on YouTube says, first D10 says on YouTube, what's this guy's name? Chaz. I wish I was a Chaz. I'll bet. I mean, it would probably get you more than D10. So I don't know why your parents put that on the birth certificate, but Chaz would be good. So Joel says, after my divorce, I was 36 and dating an 18-year-old girl I met at a gig. Fuck yeah, I love musicians. We went.
I hope by gig he doesn't mean associate professor. Yeah, I was doing this gig at a community college.
My gig? Algebra. Yeah.
I was doing this gig at a mental institution.
High school. She was spanking the freshmen with fucking wooden mallets while listening to 70s music.
Sounds like it worked out.
Yeah. But we 18, went out
that's
for
that's
our
cutting
first,
it real close.
We weren't for man. It's but still above any states. And fuck them.
Every state
says that's good. So I don't give a shit.
You don't even have to do any explaining.
Look, if it's okay for this lady, it's okay for Joel. That's what I say. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, Joel. We'll defend you.
Absolutely.
At least one half of this room will defend you.
When those fucking assholes come for you, one half of the Love Gurus podcast has your back, Joel. Anyway, 36, 18, we went out after a gig.
That's literally twice. I did that in my head, by the way.
We went out for several months. After we split up, her mother showed up at one of my shows. One thing led to another. Goddamn right, Joel. Yes.
Joel, I'm naming my first son after you.
Yes. Our first son's name, both me and Bobby. You got two kids named Joel. Even my son's middle name's going to be Joel. He's going to be Joel Vevera.
But does
JJ for short.
Does the mom know that you were also sleeping with a daughter?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I mean, to be honest, I'm giving you a very uncelebratory high five, Joel. I mean, a little.
I kind of just
doesn't matter. You get a very celebratory high five.
I feel like Suzanne and I need to pray together while you guys give him the high five.
And me and Bobby need to give you high
five.
Full of
Joel.
Yeah, Joel, say several Hail Marys.
This is
it sounds like Joel doles out the Hail Marys.
Am I right? Our fathers are longer than a Hail Mary.
I will say Hail Joel, and I will give a high five to Mary. That's what I'm doing right now for Joel.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Anyway, D10 says, I want to know which one was better in bed.
Only one way to find out.
It doesn't matter.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! What if he ended the 19-year-old? He ended it with the daughter, and now he's with the mom, and she's like, "Oh my god, my mom! I now have proof she fucks better than I do."
Oh,
holy shit!
She was like some vain Hollywood actress.
But she's also 43.
Used to fucking come in. No more wire hangers. I'll always fuck better than you.
Yeah.
And it turned out she was right.
I wouldn't have any sort of anxiety about that because she is 43. She's had sex a lot more times than this 21-year-old.
Right.
I mean, that's just chalking up to experience. That's like saying, you cook a better carbonara than I do. Of course you do because you've done it 4 million times more than
you're
I
private
fucked
first class. I'm a goddamn 2-star general.
Yeah.
There's a
gonna
part
be
of me
better.
that's like, I can make you your like 5-star souffle, but I only want to do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
know?
saying. Young kids are just resting on their looks. Us old dogs are resting on our tricks.
Yes.
That's how it
Yes.
works.
Yes.
D10 says the mom is slinging life lessons. Joel says daughter said, "Mom, you need to get out and live more." Mom took her at her word.
What?
Just Jake on that one.
Very
Don't
evil
even
laugh.
I like that. Yeah.
I
All right,
feel like
cool.
that was a very I understand that.
There's some commonality.
Very
there.
childhood understanding moment.
Yes, absolutely. But Joel says, Jake, love you, bro, but you're closer to married than you are grown up. That is very true. 100%.
I feel like there's a lot of egg on
Yeah.
my face right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have teenage kids who are like, Dad, you can't fucking do that. Come on. You can't wear that outside.
Oh man,
You got to sober up before you're around my friends. It's going to be weird.
amazing.
It's
gonna be weird.
amazing.
It's gonna be
marriage. I don't
amazing.
even know how to say it, you guys. All I know is that if he still acts like a kid, I can legally fuck him in the ass. Okay.
Whoa, you
Man.
with the school
Wait a
district?
minute. You
and then the anal.
You don't live in the same state as Woody Allen. He's in Connecticut now.
Listen,
Yo,
you guys.
That's a
liar.
Connecticut charge.
Now he financially has an obligation to me. Okay. Through
Yeah, okay.
the court system.
You get half of barely fucking anything. That's what that means. That's what that means.
Yeah. But amazing. Yeah. So I think we answered that question though.
Yes.
We did. I don't remember what the question was. Which was the last question?
the guy was the mom was fucking the girl.
The 19-year-old.
the daughter.
And so
Yeah.
my final advice was that they need to first bring it up to the mom that they had a relationship before.
Sure.
Then they decide.
Bobby
what's-
said go for it.
Yeah,
I
Bobby said
said
go for it.
the mom needs to do more research. And
No.
you said
Bobby said she needs to start fucking the father of the guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think she should double down. I think she should start fucking the grandfather of the guy.
Okay.
You know?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go,
my God, I
wait,
can't
oh,
win with
you're
you
going.
guys.
You're going up a generation. I'm going up too.
Yeah.
I'm Robert De Niro in The Deer Hunter. I'm playing Russian roulette with 3 bullets in the gun.
It would be pretty sweet if the grandfather was rich and then the 19-year-old
I
got
hope
cut
he's
out of the
broke.
will.
I hope he's a janitor, and she shows up to the fucking high school that he works at, going, "You want to put your mouth on what?" And she just goes to town.
That's hot.
Right there in the goddamn room where he wrings out the buckets. And it's just because it's a hate fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not about that.
I think the daughter should play the long game. Wait until this 19-year-old guy has a kid. That's a guy.
With
He
her?
turns 19. Now, oops, she's in her 40s.
Oops, I did it with
Yeah.
your son.
Yeah.
Oh my
All of a
God.
sudden, she
Although,
thinks
wait,
it's
no,
not
that
that.
doesn't really work.
Is
Because
this
then
Oh,
the
that
guy
would-
would
that'd
be
be
like,
like
yeah,
a
sick.
I'm
Yeah, but
sorry.
also that son could be her half
Can
brother.
we just ask about this? I feel like this is
Yeah,
a
the dad
Kardashian
would high
family.
five the hell out of
Yeah.
his kid.
Wait.
He would no matter how young a kid was, he would fucking hold up the kid's hand in his fucking little basket where he's
Yeah.
watching shapes spin around him.
Do you
He
know
would
how
just high-five him.
messy?
He would do
Do you
that.
know how messy the Kardashian family is? I feel like this is the Kardashian family.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
One of them's going to defend OJ.
but that's not necessarily because of age. It's just because they fucked everyone. They're like, you've
Yeah.
had sex with my boyfriend. Yeah, because I've had sex with everyone. You know?
You know what? In a few years, this question will seem antiquated because we'll almost be expected to fuck each other. Like
Yeah.
monogamy will be a thing of the past.
7 billion people in
Dude.
the world, and we all have to fuck each other.
Yes.
Where has the world come to nowadays?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but amazing. Yeah, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question.
I think we did too. This has been a great episode. Thank you to our 2 guests. Thank you to Amy Liszka. Thank you to Bobby Sheehan. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to the people that commented live. Thank you to Joel. As always, you're the
Yeah.
fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you to Victor. Thank you to
Nasty Girl Jet.
Nasty
one of
Girl
the stank
Jets.
two in the pank,
Yes.
whatever it's called.
Yes.
Is it Nasty Girl Jess? I thought it was Shy Girl Jess.
Oh yeah, Shy Girl Jess.
Oh,
Shy Girl
she
Jess.
became Nasty Girl Jess.
Yeah.
We scared her away from this podcast. We did.
Aw.
But we did not scare away D10. Thank you to you two.
Yeah.
Thank
D10,
you
as
to
far as I'm
everyone
concerned,
who-
you're D11.
Yes. Goddamn D11 out of D10.
D13.
100%. Uh-huh. And thank you to the listeners. Until next time, write us at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or just listen every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Doop. There's more music. There we go. I was going to sign off so smooth before that happened, but that's not happening. But until next week, listeners, thank you and later.